Who would like to give a recap from last time?
I'm still trying to get set up.
So, I believe last time was the introduction to Peter's character.
Right.
Whose name escapes me.
Kajika.
Kajika, yes. We had a long argument about whether or not to lead those elves out. And then one of the dryad spirits came and volunteered to help with that.
But what happened was Kajika came into the room you were in, being pursued by a shadow monster. He was carrying an unconscious dryad who had basically kept him alive and one step ahead of the shadow monster through a long run through the swamp. It was later when you thought that the shadow monster had escaped that the Thonot, the Quaggoth, mentioned that there are other elf slaves on the level that could be at risk. Oh, so right. You went to save them.
And that's where we had the debate, because some of us were of the mind that we should just let them be and continue after Zaxab.
And everyone else was
Kharal'hul.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Thonot had said that there are basically 2 places down here that he thinks you might find Kharal'hul, and he hasn't really said where you might find the dwarf, assuming that's not the same place. So at that point, you went down the stairs. There were a couple different hallways to go down, but one Thonot said not to because there were just lizard men and their clutch of eggs in that direction. You went down another one, or at least Kajika decided to go down the other one and decided to take shots at some half-elves that he saw sitting in a room, one of which was sharpening an axe, but all of which were armed. That created a lot of noise and basically started the combat with the half-elves. As soon as you managed to render all the half-elves unconscious, although there was you might call it a debate, at least a disagreement over whether or not to let them live. No words were exchanged, but actions were clearly at odds with one another.
Yes.
But you managed to subdue them all without killing them. However, as that fight ended, you began to hear the rumble of rock. Let me screen share. And the wall began to crumble in the room with the half-elves, at which point you saw a bipedal insectoid creature come breaking through the wall, which Thonot, in response to the question from Zarius, said was the pet of Kharal'hul.
Well, also one thing before that wasn't Dustin, what's your character's name again? T-Hole. Wasn't T-Hole overcome by a mind effect at some point where he tried to kill people? Like there was some kind of glyph.
Yes, there was definitely a glyph in the room where you found the elven prisoners.
Yeah, T-Hole did not. He did not attempt to do that. Although one of the prisoners did attempt to kill us.
It was the dryad who was affected. The prisoners were all too catatonic to really act.
That's because we went up the stairs. So there was the crystal in the middle of the room, and then we went up. There was the stairs that went up to the top level, where the main chamber was, or the entrance, or one of the entrances that we didn't go into. And at the top of that little flight of stairs, there was a spell that caused people to turn.
Right.
At the top of that stairs was also 2 dead bodies. presumably from people who've suffered the same fate and killed each other. So we're able to escort the prisoners out. Or I think Lucia Rossi was. I saw one or two of us stayed behind. I don't remember which ones.
Yeah, it was only a brief detour as the Dryad escorted them all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a little bit of sort of possession for a moment, but yeah.
A vulgar display of power, if you will.
I can't find where everybody is on the map. Oh, there we are.
So the wall is broken through. Dust rose up into the air, blinding you for a second, but you saw this form come through. And as the dust began to clear, you realized it was this hard-shelled insect creature. There's no doubt from its stance and aggressive entry that it is there to attack. So everyone roll initiative.
Remember to click your character before you click the button.
Ooh, thank you.
Damn it, I didn't do that. Well, that's okay.
So
I got a 3.
Oh, 5. Man, we have the whole all 3, 4, 5, 6 going on here.
Oh shit! I roll a 3, then I roll a 4. That figures.
What's your dexterity?
4.
Your dexterity is 4?
No, poor.
Okay.
It's
4.
So
Is
that
it
means
poor? I mean, it's as poor as mine.
Why do you think I wear such heavy armor? I can't escape these
Are
blows.
you overcompensating for something?
Clearly. I have a lion head. Come on.
I got a bum knee.
Okay, so Hellweir, you get to go first, but before you do that, make me a charisma save.
Okay.
Well, you would know as you're staring at the eyes of this creature that are mostly red, but seem to be reflecting a multicolored light. You could choose to avert your gaze, or you could make the charisma save.
I like the charisma save.
Okay. So you can go ahead and act. You really shouldn't roll while I'm explaining these things, but but that was my fault. So go ahead.
How do you move?
So do I make? So what do I do? I look at it.
Right. So you can see there's this multicolored light that feels like it's being reflected back, like directly at you, and it's a little bit sort of dazzling to you, but you suffer no ill effects. You can do what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and squeeze through these guys and jump up here.
Okay. So give me an acrobatics check. Because as you go up there, you realize the whole thing is slippery, but you make it up. You're fine.
And then I'll shoot it with my longbow.
That does not hit.
Okay. I grunt in dissatisfaction, and I have my turn.
Okay. So the arrow streaks across the room, but hits this hard shell that it's got and just ricochets off. Zarius, your turn.
Wow, I'm next. Okay.
You also realize you can either avert your gaze or there might be an effect. There's an effect.
Damn it.
Let me see.
I'm proficient in everything. I just can't roll high, I guess. Yeah.
Where was that?
Yeah, roll like a D8 or something.
Nope, there it is. You have to make an attack against a randomly determined creature within your reach.
There's only one person there.
Hell, that's the person then.
The melee attack?
No, it doesn't really say. You could choose.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, it does say a melee attack. So
Okay.
But it doesn't say melee weapon or spell attack.
I don't know if I. Oh yeah, I can make a melee spell attack with a spell,
right.
or with a bonus action. I mean,
that's where I'm saying you can choose. Shocking grasp.
I don't have shocking grasp. I have vampiric touch.
It's up to you what you want to do.
Just get it over with.
Really. Yeah, I mean it doesn't say how lethal the attack has to be, right?
No.
Okay, then I'll just hit him with my quarterstaff. The first one there, I think, is
right. I mean, this one's unconscious, so I'm sure you hit.
But I mean, I meant like because it's a quarterstaff, so like I'm holding my shield, so I wouldn't be like two-handing it. So it's the first damage, I think,
right.
instead of the second there.
Right. So, but this one, she was already at 0 HP. So,
that person.
Yeah.
Oh,
so she's now clearly dying again.
Isn't it like?
Does it have to be a
critical hit?
It is considered a critical hit. She's probably going to die next round unless somebody restabilizes her.
Yeah, I can. Can I still? Do I still have my bonus action or?
Yeah, you should still have your bonus action.
Okay, yeah, then because I could do spare the dying as a bonus action. So.
Oh God, no!
I didn't mean to do that.
This creature is foul.
So
it's like you go. It's like you go down for the hit, and then you slip like your hand down the pole, and then like touch her with spread of dying.
So Helwy's reaction is quite the opposite. He's like, "Yeah," when you hit her. And like, no, don't do it again.
You're just teasing him at this point.
Darius, what is wrong? Why would you do that?
I'm going to go ahead and like kind of move around to here.
Okay.
I think maybe back one step. Yeah, we'll go here.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
Even down here.
Yeah,
just to see if it's not high, but to see if you can jump off the slippery ledge without falling.
I was already below.
So you're jumping up onto.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm staying down below. I was gonna be below the thing before, but I decided I want to be off a little bit further away from this fucking thing. So. Okay.
Then that's fine.
All right.
So you kind of just ducked your head under and slid back like Homer through the bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hollow underneath this causeway, so you can just walk under it.
I'm just really tall, so.
Eagle, your turn. You can also choose to avert your gaze, or its gaze might affect you.
T-Hole is the kind of person that would not avert his gaze.
So make me a charisma save.
All right.
That does not succeed. So there's a number of directions you can't move, but let's see. 1, 2, 3. So you have to move essentially in this direction using all of your movement. So essentially right towards the creature, given where you are. Now that I look at it, you're charging.
So all of my movement, that would be all right.
Well, I imagine like this and this would be considered like rough terrain or something.
Yeah, you have to hop up on the table. And
so yeah, I think I'll stand on the table, probably around there.
Okay.
As far away as possible.
All right. So then I don't take an action this turn.
Right. Umber Hulk will take a step forward. And it is, of course, going to attack T-Hole.
Oof.
Yeah, the first hits.
Yeah, the first one hit. So you take 12 slashing damage as it reaches out and tries to claw at you. It comes in with its pincers and tries to grab you, but it's unable to pierce through your armor, and it slips off.
Guys, this is dangerous.
Lucia Rossi, same choice. You can avert your gaze, or you'll have to make a saving throw.
Averting my gaze means I would have disadvantage on my attack rolls, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, which save is it?
Charisma.
That's my best one.
That makes it. You're fine.
All right. So, seeing this creature and noticing the strange effect it seems to be having on everybody, you notice that ghostly wings of bright white light spring from Rosie's back as I use my Radiant Soul ability. So that gives me... That's a bonus action to use that. And then that gives me a fly speed. So I'm going to fly over here and then begin attacking the creature with Solossery.
And I just only now noticed Kajika's not in the initiative order.
I'll go after Luciroshi since I failed to adequately put in my initiative.
All right, so Solossery, first attack. So I'm guessing the 13 does not hit.
No, that bounces off its carapace.
And then second attack.
Natural 1. That also does not hit.
All right. I'm going to use an action point to... Can I take a full action with the action point?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do that.
How many of those do we have?
2 a session.
Okay.
So then... Boom.
That also misses.
And then... Boom. Jesus Christ. So Lucirosi just unleashes a barrage of attacks against this thing, but each one just bounces off its carapace harmlessly. So Lucirosi begins screaming in a holy rage.
And it's Hellweir's turn again.
What does the holy rage sound like?
Oh, I also forgot Thonot.
Yeah, Thonot's Kajika's turn, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's Kajika's turn.
Okay,
then Thonot will go. He's at -1 initiative.
So I don't see the map. It's like vanished.
Can you see it now?
Yes, I can. But the icons are like covering it up. So how do I get rid of these icons?
Which icons?
Like the squares?
Right though. You have like a tiny screen?
No, I don't.
I'm not sure which squares you mean.
Like the DM square, Hellware square, Lucerosi square. Those
I think
little.
Oh, down the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, at
If you
the
like
bottom.
right click and drag, I think.
well,
you can
also if you
move
go
the
into
map around.
options,
Yeah, if you go into options, which is the little gear in the upper right,
Oh,
and
boy. Settings. Okay.
and then
Right.
at the bottom it'll say game settings and player avatar size. You can do names only.
Oh, there we go. That's handy. I need that too.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, here we go. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Now I just have to make this smaller because everybody's like super huge.
if you hit Alt, you can either do it in the upper left of the game screen. There's a slider to make the map bigger or smaller.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did. Cool. All right, so. Well, I guess we're going to have to kill this thing.
You might need to make a charisma save.
Yeah, you have to you also are being dazzled by this light in its eyes. So you either have to avert your gaze and take disadvantage on your attacks or make a charisma save.
I will avert my gaze. And use my pistol. So, see if I can do this without effing it up. Something happened.
You hit with disadvantage, blinded, not looking at it.
Anyone within 10 feet of me also has a bonus to their saving throws.
What bonus?
It is +3.
Ooh.
I'm way too far away for that.
Okay.
I need you to get to a higher level so you can get that up to 30 feet.
Working on it.
So you see this, the bullet from your gun fires out and creates a crack and a hole in the carapace of this insect creature, and you're expecting it to roar, but it really doesn't do anything like that. It lurches back a bit, and you hear what sounds like a clicking noise coming from its mouth, which is probably its equivalent of a roar.
Yeah, I've practiced that no-look shot plenty of times, so.
Thonot's going to jump down onto this unconscious half-elf.
I was wondering what that polar bear looking thing.
Sometimes you just have like random polar bears in the room. You never know. Oh, that's true. He's averting his gaze. And he hit. So Thonot this round, unreasonably effective, attacking a chink in his armor.
I like that unreasonably effective.
If this is Kharal'hul's pet, maybe they sparred before for his entertainment.
That's true. He may know his weaknesses. Oops, I off a little bit on that. Off a little bit again. It's Hellweir's turn anyway.
So I sort of grit my teeth as I avert my gaze and then load my bow. And I take a shot.
That hits.
And then I take another shot.
That second one does not hit.
Okay.
You shoot T-hole. Who's standing on the fucking table right there.
I am doing it with my eyes closed. I saw the pistol shot and I thought that was a good idea.
And then there's an incredibly long delay, and then it's Zarius' turn. 22 to 6.
Let me see here. So, like, for for effects that say on choose a creature you can see, I assume averting my eyes means I no longer actually see them.
That's right.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna fuck it, I'll do my charisma save. Maybe. Yeah, that's better. Right. I'm gonna at least do one of these here. Path to the grave. So that the next time it gets hit with an attack, it is vulnerable to that attack.
Okay.
I start spouting something in Draconic and some ghostly like sort of bird-headed people cling to the thing and start sort of harrowing it, and yeah, I was like, hit it hard. And then who's that?
So you see there are these little spiritual beings now clinging to it as Zarius yells out to hit it hard. And it's T-Hole's turn.
They're holding little arrows saying, strike here or here. These are good spots.
Teal's gonna he's gonna close his eyes and be like, I hope this hits. And I'm gonna cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
And I'm gonna amp it up to a 3rd level slot.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's a dexterity save?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It does not make it.
So it's vulnerable to fire damage, which means that it does 32 total.
So you see, it appears to now be on fire. The fire seems to be dying down, but briefly it is just engulfed in this flame. And you can hear more of that clicking noise as it sort of rears back.
Ha! Well done, T-Hole.
And there are now visible scorch marks on its armored shell.
I wonder what it tastes like.
Well, I was going to roll to see who it was going to attack, but events have made it focus on you. I think it missed.
It missed both of them.
Yep.
All right.
So it is still so shocked at the flame attack that it just clumsily reaches forward with its claw and its mandibles, unable to contact you. Kajika.
Jika or Ushiroshi?
Yeah, it's loose. Should be loose to Roshi.
Oh, I must have pulled it out of order when I added something.
That's okay.
So go ahead, Lucirosi.
Lucirosi is going to press his attack with Solastri. Is that a hit?
That's a hit.
So then, does that activate the Fairy Fire effect then?
It does.
Well, that he gets a save against it.
Right.
And he saves.
He made it.
And then I'm actually going to use Blinding Smite.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Constitution save.
Yeah.
Now who has to make the con saves? Or another charisma
He
saves.
failed.
So it's also blinded then, in addition to taking all of that damage, and it also takes an additional 6 radiant damage on top of that, due to me using my radiant soul ability. So that is 11, 15, 21, and then there's no reason for that bludgeoning damage. That shouldn't be in there, but the 6 radiant damage, or the 8 radiant damage. So 29 damage total, radiant and bludgeoning, and is blinded.
Okay. You can now see there are visible cracks in its shell.
Is that including the vulnerability?
It
That was
it
only
was-
one attack.
One attack.
Right?
Oh, it's one attack? Okay.
Yeah.
So is that my first or second? That was my second. Right? Wait a minute. No. That was my first attack with Celestery. So then second attack with Celestery. Oh, wait a minute. If it's blinded, does that mean I have advantage on my attack rolls against it?
Yes, it does.
Yes. So then it takes an additional 29 damage between radiant and bludgeoning. Is it
That's
still
assuming
up?
we weren't looking away.
It is still up.
Oh, that's right. I didn't do that save to avert my gaze. That could change everything. Jesus.
No, you made it.
All right. So it changes nothing.
Nothing.
All right. So how is it looking now after those 2 attacks?
It's looking like it's in pretty bad shape.
All right. So then I'm gonna press it, the attack again with my bonus action. Hit him with. I'm gonna go with prayers.
That hits.
So an additional 8 bludgeoning damage. And screw it. I'm gonna use Divine Smite. So an additional 14 radiant damage.
Okay. And you can see it looks like it's wobbling under its own weight at this point.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Although you also begin to hear the sound of what sounds like screaming. But it's in the distance. It's not even clear where it's coming from necessarily. It sounds like, it's possibly a human or elf or dwarf. Kajika's turn.
If it's blinded, can it use its gaze?
Yeah, it can still use its gaze.
Okay, so that's all right. I'd probably just still look away anyway because I could do it.
That would counteract the disadvantage from looking away.
So it's just a normal attack.
Yep,
I'll shoot with my pistola.
that hits. Continues to wobble. You hit it solidly, but it doesn't fall over.
Well, damn.
Oh, that's its attack. Still, it was a natural 1, so I'll keep it for him. Thonot's claw attack does not seem to be very effective. And everyone give me a perception check.
Hey.
So Zarius or Lucirosi, T-Hole, and Zarius, you can still hear the sound of it's clearly a male voice screaming in the distance. It sounds like it's pretty far away as it's fairly muffled. But you had previously also heard like footprints skittering around in the distance. It now sounds like those footprints are maybe just behind this Umber Hulk.
Does the screaming sound like screaming in pain, screaming in anger, or screaming?
Screaming, and it's definitely screaming in pain.
Oh,
not maybe passion. They're so similar.
Which direction is the screaming coming from? Can we tell?
Because the whole place is sort of stone and enclosed. It's sort of unclear. It kind of sounds like maybe it's coming from this entrance or this exit to the room or this exit to the room.
Interesting. But not where the hole is that the Hulk just came through?
A little bit there too. He's just mostly standing in that hole and blocking it up.
So we're kind of hearing it from 3 different directions.
Yeah. But it's probably just echoing around. And it's Hellware's turn.
Let's let that fella blind again.
So close to a crit.
And then one more. And also, I'd like to use a battle master tactic, trip attack. If I can use it on him, is he considered large or bigger than that?
He's considered large.
Okay, cool. I can trip him. He has to make a strength save.
– 8.
He
He
fails.
took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah, I saw his little chicken legs, and I shot them.
So he falls prone, blind and prone, and half dead.
That's me done.
Did you avert your gaze?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. So the second one then missed.
Yeah, but the first one hit, so I just put it on back in.
Zarius.
Let's see. Yeah, fuck. Listen, I need to be able to see the motherfucker to hit it. So.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the video Dustin sent.
Wait, what?
Oh, the video?
I'm laughing at the video Dustin sent.
So you use all your movement to move in this direction.
That direction?
Yep.
5, 15, 20, and I hit a wall.
Yep. So you can stay there.
But that's it, right? That's my movement. So I still have my action.
No, you don't take any actions this turn.
And oh, fuck, son of a bitch. Okay. Oh, all right.
T-Hole, do you want to avert your gaze or roll a save?
I'll avert my gaze. And I'm gonna do a let's see, I'll cast I'll just cast a firebolt.
Do you need to see your target to target a firebolt?
I don't.
Not usually with a rolled attack.
No.
Okay. So actually, that still manages. You hit its carapace. It's not clear that you did any damage, though.
You know, actually, T-Hole, you're still within like 10 feet of me. If you in the future, if you just ignore averting the gaze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I
Yeah.
guess it.
I think.
Right at the edge.
So yeah, let's see. I think that is going to be it because I can't disengage or anything.
So can I see the stuff that's going on behind it there?
I
see it on my screen.
Yeah, now that it's on its knees, yes, you can see that there are a couple of Quaggoths and maybe someone else running around behind it.
I see a name, but
So yeah, you can also see that there's a dwarf running behind it, but it's not a dwarf you've ever met.
yeah.
So the Umber Hulk is going to use half its movement to stand up, and it's just going to lash out in the direction of T-Hole.
Uh-oh.
One hits.
And let me see what there. Before we move on.
So T-Hole's like he took like two big, the two big claws recently, and he's limping a little bit now. He's hurt.
And at that point, around the corner, because they also got a lot of four initiatives in this particular fight, but they have a better dexterity than Lucirosi does. You see Quaggoth comes running around the side, and there appear to be at least two more behind that one. How far can he go? He's going to hop down and attack, though not.
Isn't he a Quaggoth too?
Yes, but
No
you're all enemies.
No love for the Quaggoths.
And one hit. This one, I guess, is going to try to run up to Hellweir, but it might not make its athletics check. Or its acrobatics check, I mean.
Slippery.
Nope. Okay, that didn't roll properly. I'm just going to roll it manually here. No, he managed to make it up, and he's going to attempt to claw at you.
Ow. Did he attack twice, yeah?
What?
He attacked twice, yeah?
Yeah, he attacked twice.
Okay, they both hit, so it's 15.
This is strangely calming music considering the situation.
This one will run up and try to attack Zarius.
Back beast. Ow. Confirm. One of those hit me, the first one. So that's what, 8.
Whoa. Did Umber Hulk die?
No, he's just
Did he get buried under rubble?
He's underneath,
he got buried. Rubble fell on top of him from his own tunnel. I didn't notice till just now. I put that in the wrong layer. You can now see there's at least 2 Quaggoth running behind him who are probably going to try to leap over him next round.
Okay.
We'll just add them. And it's Luciorosi's turn.
All right. Pressing the attack with Solosry. Is that a hit?
That is a hit.
Still alive?
No, that is, you hit him and he just crumples to the ground.
Okay. So then I'm going to use 5-step movement to move over to T-hole. I'm going to use another action point so that I can do an additional action.
Okay.
T-hole, you're getting 25 hit points from my lay on hands. And Lucharosi says, remember this the next time we have questions about the value of life. And then I'll use my remaining movement to fly over to one of these Quaggoth. And then I still have the remaining attack for my extra attack. I'm going to bash it with Celastri. And I'm guessing that misses.
Yes.
So I'm going to use my my channel divinity to add 10 to that roll.
Okay, it hits.
Which then it has to make that save.
It fails.
All right, so it's got the fairy fire effect on it.
Yep.
And then I'll use my bonus action to attack with Celastri again. 16 hit?
16 hits.
All right. And then that's my turn.
Okay. Ajika. You can now clearly see over the collapsed body that there are 2 Quaggoth in the hallway beyond, and 3 more that have run into the room from the stairwell on the causeway.
All right.
Sorry, one extra thing. The Quaggoth that I hit also takes an additional 6 radiant damage from my radiant soul.
Okay. And you can still hear the whoever is doing the screaming is still screaming.
Can I move here?
Yes.
Can I use the scatter gun on these guys? Was that too close?
No, these 2 here.
Yeah, these 2 guys. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Okay. So, all right, let's bust out this move over there, and I say, all right, good to see some more Kharal'hul's bastard kids coming after us. And I fire the scatter gun. 14. I take it I didn't have advantage.
Right.
You got advantage on the one.
Yeah, you have advantage on the one, but you hit both of them.
Okay.
So. Yeah, they're both injured, and they let out a yelp. Thonot will wheel around on the one. Are you doing something else?
No, that's it.
Thonot wheels around on the one that just clawed at him, and misses, and then really hits.
Good.
Hellware, it's your turn. You've got one Quaggoth that just clawed you.
And the other is the one below me going for Zarius.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grapple this one next to me.
Okay.
So let's do a athletics check.
Yep. Why is it set this way? Okay. Well, for some reason I have them set up slightly wrong, so I'll just roll. They get a +5.
Well, yeah.
24. So
Yeah, that doesn't work. I'll drop a index on him then as a bonus action. It's with normal. That's like with no proficiency, so that would be like 10 or more than 10.
Okay, so yeah, that misses.
Yeah, cool. That's me then.
Zarius, your turn.
Alrighty. So, for some reason, I don't have Spirit Guardians prepared. So, I'm gonna do. Let's see here. How far away is this guy? This guy right here. He's roughly 30 feet. Yeah. Hold on. Is he about 30 feet from me?
Yep.
The one that's like standing on the Umberhawk?
Yep.
Okay. Targeting that one, and then the two, the one right by me and the one up by Hellweir. I'm going to cast Bane. They have to make, what is this, charisma saving throw. Versus 15.
Okay, let's see. So that is
it's a fail.
one. The one next to Hellweir is a fail. The one next to you is he makes it. And then was it this one? Was the third one?
No, the one over here.
Okay.
I'd forgotten about that guy.
And he fails.
All right, so those who fail have to roll d4s and subtract from pretty much any roll they do. Attack rolls and saving throws, basically.
Okay. Just put a little red dot so I can try to remember that.
Let's see here. That's an action to do. So, yeah, I can't do much else then. Not without provoking any opportunity attacks. So, I'll just kind of hang out here. Hope this guy doesn't hit me again.
T-Hole, what's your dexterity?
Very dexterous. I have a 12. It's 12.
Okay, I will let you go then.
Okay. So I'm gonna move. So quick question. I don't remember. Did I have the Scenario Codex? Did I have a chance to decode any of the spells or the spells out of it?
You would have had some time. Do you have I assume you have like a water scan at least?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you had taken like the time you had spent resting to clean the pages, then yes.
I remember I did say that, but it says with a week of downtime. I think I spent like a long rest or two doing it, but
I mean, I'll still say you could have gotten some of them.
Okay. So can I like pick and choose the spells, or?
Yeah, you could have chosen which ones to clean first.
Okay. So I was gonna clean fear. So I'm gonna come here and by Zarius.
I mean, you still have to prepare the spells.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, sorry. A lot of unprepared spellcasters that I play.
I mean, if you want to say you had prepared fear, I don't have a problem with that. Just letting you know, there's something you've prepared that you'll have to take out of the third level slot.
Yeah.
Or-
I don't have. Well, how many? I don't remember how many spells you can prepare a
It's
day.
your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier per day.
Okay.
So you didn't really have any spare spells prepared, technically. So
Well, I have I have all my level 1 spells prepared.
right. But I mean, you can prepare spells of any level. You could have all level 3 spells prepared and no level 1 spells if you wanted. So, but I'm happy to say you have fear prepared.
Okay. We'll do that. I'll add it in. So I'll move about here, and I'm gonna cast fear on like this cone here and try to catch as many of these things as I can.
Okay. I don't know if it's quite wide enough, but I'll say you can catch these 3. I mean, certainly if you moved here, you could catch these 3. So if you lean in,
Moved
here.
where?
Like between Zarius and Hellweir, you could catch the 3 that are essentially in a line in front of that.
All right, I can do that.
So is that a wisdom save?
It is.
The suspense is killing me.
Dun dun dun.
Is it fear?
It is. And my.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what my number is. It's been a little
What's
bit
your
since
intelligence?
It's 18.
So then it would be 8
Plus 4.
Plus
4
plus 3.
plus 3.
So 15.
15.
Okay.
So all 3 of them fail.
Nice. So they all start running. They see in their mind a Kharal'hul screaming and whipping them. So they are dashing the opposite direction.
Right.
The safe distance.
Away from me.
Yeah. Once they're out of view, they can make a save again.
Yeah.
Okay. So
They dash, so that's no attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
They dash on their turn.
Okay.
So it's not immediate.
Oh, okay.
But that's not disengage.
Right, but it's not disengage.
All right. Cool.
But I'm pretty sure Hellweir wouldn't know that. Hellweir has no idea what's going on.
It doesn't say anything about being hit, breaking the effect. So,
Right.
Attack away.
So after you cast this spell, were you doing anything else?
No, that's it for me.
So after you cast this spell, you begin to hear the sounds of someone in armor running from the same direction that some of the Quaggoths came, and you see the familiar face of Gruzza the dwarf, although now she's holding a very ornate, heavy-looking axe. And she will have to, because she ran out onto this thing, see if she can keep her position. But she immediately falls prone when she steps out onto the causeway.
What a cool entrance.
Does she do a little slide? Does she do a little slide right into the Quaggoth?
She more like runs out and her legs just shoot out from under her and she lands on her back and screams out, probably in Dwarven, "Oh, damn it!"
I've been there.
So these first Quaggoth near you, T-Hole, begins to run. So you can take your attack of opportunity.
All right, this is Teal's time to shine. I'm going to use my sweet quarterstaff skills. And I'm going to pull out my quarterstaff and try to hit it as it passes.
Okay. It's up on the ledge over top of you, but you can still take a swing. Oh, and that connects.
so I just like go up and poke him, and it does one damage.
And Hellweir, you can also attack as he turns and runs.
Gonna run over the dwarf.
Well,
Jesus.
So you managed to miss, but as it starts to run, it loses its footing and it also slides to its hands and knees prone on the floor. It then uses half its movement to get up again.
And try again.
Yes, and try again. This time it is able to make it at least to there.
I'm not seeing any rolls.
Yeah, it's because I set them up wrong to do it, so I'm just rolling here.
Okay.
Rather than fix it. If we take a break, I can fix it. This one, the other one, runs stepping over the half elf.
I attack it.
You can.
Yeah. So I don't. Maybe I could use an action point to do it or something like that. But I'd like to hit it with my activated Staff of the Adder. But I hadn't used a bonus action to activate it.
I'd let you use an action point for that.
Cool.
I don't remember what the Staff of the Adder does, but
I got you. It's fine. It's gonna. If I hit, it'll have to make a con save basically. But essentially, yeah, the head of my staff actually looks like a snake, and it starts to move and hiss and whatnot, and I strike out with it. There you are. Come on, you son of a bitch. Is that a hit?
Yep.
Nice.
So he's about to make a DC 15 con save?
Yeah.
He fails.
Haha. So it takes the two piercing damage and 13 poison there.
So this snake-headed staff, I guess the snake head comes alive and bites into its shoulder. And it lets out a wolf-like howl. But I assume it doesn't like grapple or anything like that.
No. It's just a little hit on it, basically. A little extra damage.
He tries to scramble up on top of Gruzza the dwarf. And he at least is pretty handily able to do so. So he vanishes off into the darkness. And the third one is also going to try to climb up onto Gruzza. He also manages it. So the third one leaps up, turns, and runs off.
What's his fuck it? Get an attack of opportunity there? Or is he gonna leave his friend alone? I don't know.
No, he would take an attack.
Hey.
And he did some damage. The other two in the room, the one that's all brightly lit is going to attempt to hit Lucirosi.
Luciorosi's like, come at me, bro.
Ineffectively, though.
Fail.
the other one will move up and try the same. Oop, that's not him.
Let's do this. That takes 7 slashing.
And it's your turn.
All right. So I will first attack this guy with Celastry. 14 hit.
Yes.
All right. So 15 damage on that guy, plus another 6 radiant from Radiant Soul. Still up?
No, he dies.
Okay. And then turning my attention to this guy. Another attack with Celastry. All right.
hit.
So, and then he'll need to make the save then.
Fails.
All right. And then bonus action to attack with Thoughts.
That hits.
So another 5 bludgeoning damage. And then that'll be my turn.
A solid turn.
Kajika.
So just the one is up now?
Yes, in the room. There's another one in the hallway here that you probably can't see from where you are.
No.
And 2 others have run off.
Up there. I don't know about that guy.
So step over here. And I'm going to attempt... I do unarmed strike.
Okay. That's a hit.
All right. Okay. That is it for me.
Okay.
Are you not going to use your bonus action for martial arts?
I don't know. I'm anticipating there is going to be more people to fight. I don't want to burn through everything.
Well, no. You can use a bonus action to make 1 additional attack. Flurry of blows would be using it to do 2 attacks at the cost of a Kai point.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I can do...
It's both within the flurry of blows. So you could spend a bonus action to attack an extra time. Spend a key to attack twice. That's a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it so? It's not at disadvantage or anything?
No.
No.
Okay. Is that
In
cool?
fact, you have advantage because
Yeah.
he's very fire.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I just plumb hit him again.
And he's at 0 HP. Unless you don't want to kill him. It's up to you.
Oh, no, I want to kill him.
I'll just point my staff up to the dwarf up there and say, "Friend or foe?"
Foe. Although Luceros, might disagree. I never liked her.
Let her actions decide if she is friend or foe. Words can be deceitful.
Groza, are you a friend or a foe?
Well, before we get to her response, what do you want to do, Hellweir?
If everyone's like yelling, I would prepare my action to attack, but I wouldn't attack yet.
Okay.
Brandon, I feel like this is the way that you're rolling tonight. It's like a similar outcome to when You were fighting that barbarian chick in the room all by yourself.
It really feels like it. Yeah. I think I've hit like 2 shots.
So
And you've been
Gruzza,
dropping like fucking giant smites everywhere.
with a huff, just sort of pushes herself up onto the axe and like slowly staggers to her feet and looks out at you guys and is about to respond and then turns and starts running.
So, foe it is.
So she cursed out whenever she fell. Did it sound like the same voice that was screaming, or is the screaming still going on right now?
That was more of a male voice, although you do notice in the interim that screaming has stopped. So there's no one screaming now, but it clearly wasn't her. She probably ran in just as it was dying down.
Well, that's good. It was getting on my nerves.
And
So is the combat still going?
no, not at this point.
All right. So I'm Lustrosi is going to duck in where the Umber Hulk crawled from and kind of check that out.
Okay.
Since I did see them coming from this way,
Right.
just to make sure that there's no other dangers there.
Coming to where you are, you would definitely now see there are 2 Quaggoth to the north of you in the hallway above. And Gruzza appears to be behind them, saying something to them.
Okay. So I would then suggest, Kajika, come with me. Everybody else, head them off at the pass.
Right. But in this room, you can see it is mostly filled with equipment. It's a little. It seems like it might be made of natural stone, like some of the rest of it, although it's pretty rough hewn, whereas everything else seemed to be kind of worked stone. It was probably once a standard room, but you're thinking maybe the walls were simply torn up by the Umber Hulk. You can see those 2 Quaggoth to the north. There's also in one corner a pile of armor and weapons. It looks like this may have been some sort of like downstairs stockpile in case they were needed. So the weapons and all are here.
The weapons are here?
Yep.
Okay. Good to know for when we have a chance to loot. All right, so
After them.
yeah, Lustrosi would definitely give chase.
Well, then let's roll initiative again.
Remember to click your characters.
How do you move the map over?
You can either use the scroll bar. Yeah, you can either use the scroll bar at the bottom to move the map around left and right, or you can use Shift and the roll bar on your mouse.
How did I roll a 4 again?
I got lower than last time.
Scraping the bottom of the initiative order.
I'm way back here.
Oh.
At least T-Hole was able to get above 10.
Yeah.
Hellwear is just always rolling.
I have advantage on it, so.
And you see that other. I have to roll actually to see if he saves. He's probably had like 2 saves, but I'll give him 1.
One guy still is got Bane on him.
Right.
So it's a D4 minus.
But he has managed to shake his fear.
Wait, this guy?
Yes.
He's got a minus D4 because you got the dot.
Oh, you're
the
right.
gain
I
dot.
forgot about that. So he does not manage to shake his fear. But he's not running from you. He's running from T-Hole.
Right.
So I think Hellweir goes first.
Well, I don't know what's going on. You just said cut them off, and I'm just going to stand here with my bow drawn.
Okay, you can see there is one running away from you down the hallway.
Yeah, he might come back. I'll just keep it drawn.
Why wouldn't you just shoot him? He's in your line of sight.
Is he? He's like downstairs or upstairs, isn't he?
He is. I would still say you could shoot him. I mean, he'd have like a like minor cover bonus, but that's about it.
All right, well, I'll shoot him a couple times.
You are also like holding your last action too.
Yeah.
Or you readied your last action. So
Yeah,
you technically
I'm really
have
ready.
2.
Are you always using +2 arrows?
Yeah, why not?
Because you also keep missing. That's why not.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna run out eventually. Actually, I think that was my last one.
And these guys are kind of just mooks.
Yeah, I got nuts.
Hey, why save your best attack? I guess that's the philosophy of Hellweir.
Oh god.
It could be your last.
Do you at least want to use an action point to try to hit with the +2 arrow?
Nah, screw it.
They were just bringing him down.
Yeah, that was just dead weight.
Threw the whole balance off.
This one is going to try to run through you, Lucirosi. So I guess he's going to make an athletics check. That's right. I can't roll it yet. To try to overrun you.
All right, so
He got a 16. Assuming you're opposing him, you could do an athletics check to try to stop him from running through you.
if I chose not to, could I use my reaction to just do an attack of opportunity as he went past?
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay. So he makes it to about there. You can take your attack. That does
Damn
not
it!
hit. So he continues to run. If you have you can take an attack of opportunity as well, Kajika, as he runs past you.
Oh, hell yeah.
That hits. So you manage to clock him, but he still continues running. And he seems to disappear down a dark hallway. The other two Quaggoth are staying where they are. Graza just seems to disappear around a corner. And it's your turn, Kajika.
Okay. I step down here. Do I see what's his nose?
Yes.
Let's see if I can do this shift. No, you're going the wrong way, dude.
I'm realizing it as a player, but Rosi certainly wouldn't. That the instructions and the talking that Raza was doing with him probably was trying to go send someone for help. Oh, but that wasn't one of the ones. That was one going down the hall. Never mind. I'm dumb.
I can't. Failing miserably trying to move. And I've lost my thing again.
Lost what thing?
The map. Okay. There it is. Damn.
So I can just move around with just the right clicking, and then dragging around. It's a little slow for me, but it works.
Yeah, I tried it and it was doing something weird, but that's probably operator error. So I can see that Quaggoth running.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pull out the pistol and shoot at him.
Okay. That hits.
Nice. Does it stagger him, or he just keeps running?
He is so out of his mind with fear, being whipped in his head by Kharal'hul, that he's still clearly just running.
Well, okay. I'll just keep an eye on him and watch him as he runs away.
Okay. T-hole.
So how tall is the ledge to Teal's left again?
It's about 10 feet up.
How did Hellweir get up there?
Hellweir,
giant.
yeah, Hellweir started up there. I mean, you could reach up and jump and try to get up there. It's just a check to do it. Or you can pass under it.
Yeah. I'm not into either of those ideas. T-Hole's not like he's not really into feats of athleticism. So he's going to try to go over through. Let's see, he's going to try to just walk through this mess to climb to the other side.
Because there's a door here. There's this opening. Nope. It's not showing. And then there's the hole that was dug through the wall.
Yeah, so he's going to try to go through the hole that was dug through the wall.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of bodies in the way, but you just step over them and you can get through them.
Okay. They changed changed some of the controls on here. They don't have the rule. How do you do the ruler now?
Oh yeah,
you have to go. The ruler is there's like a little circle with a ruler coming out of it.
Okay, they changed how it looked.
Right. But it's the same. It's the same thing. It just got more options to it now because you can say where it's going to start measuring.
Yeah. So probably where I'm at works right now. So kind of just sitting here in the entrance, just over the bodies. Do I see anything? Any enemy or any of the Quaggoth?
From where you are, no. You can see into the room, so you can probably see the pile of armor and some of the weapons, but you can't actually see where the Quaggoth are. And the room itself looks like, as I described, it looks like maybe it was once a room like any other, and the Umber Hulk just tore into the walls, so that there's none of the worked stone seems to be left.
So I'm gonna ready my action for when I see a Quaggoth, like when it comes into line of sight.
Okay.
Now you would see the light from my wings, so you'd know which way I went if you wanted to follow.
Well, I moved my max movement
Oh, okay.
already to get to where I'm at. So
I mean, you used regular movement. You can still dash.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really see the point to dashing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
T-Hole
T-Hole.
runs nowhere.
I don't run for trains. Trains come for me.
So Thonot is going to try to leap up onto. Oh, but he skitters back down. Shouldn't be that hard for him, really, with his +5. But he's going to try one more time. Poor Thonot. So Thonot twice tries to jump up, but slipping on the blood on the causeway above, he basically now used all his movement and is just sort of looking around to try to figure out where to go. Lucia Rosie's turn.
All right. I am going to continue. Why is it not? Oh, okay. Moving this way. So 5, 7, 15. So do I see these Quaggoth?
Yes.
All right. And then we'll begin to attack them. Now, let's see. So last 3. Boom.
That hits.
All right.
You were going for the one right in front of you?
Yeah. And then it has to do the fairy fire save.
Yep. It made it.
Okay. And then another hit from Solastri. So close. So then another save for the fairy fire.
If you were attacking the same one, it's not.
Oh, it's immune for 24. It's immune for 24 hours. That's right. Okay. And then, yeah, I was definitely attacking the same one. And then an attack with prayers.
But you managed to knock it out. So, so are you killing it or knocking it out?
I used Velocity to break its shoulder, and then my massive prayers gauntlet uppercuts him through the face, knocking him out.
So he falls unconscious to the floor.
And then I'm going to stare menacingly at the other Quaggoth in the classic come at me bro stance. And just as I'm doing that, I imagine that's when my wings begin to power down.
If it's been a minute, maybe.
I mean, it's got to have been a minute at this point, I feel like.
Zarius, it's your turn.
Let's see here. I'm gonna move this direction, I guess. Give me some light. I can't see. 5, 10, 15. Yeah. 20, 25, 30.
So this one is unconscious and on the floor. This one is staring blankly directly at Lucia Rosie.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll toll the dead on him.
Nice roll.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have a nice roll.
He does not.
Nice. 17 damage. Necrotic.
He was previously damaged, so this he is clearly not well. But he hasn't fallen over.
Seeing the effect of the Quaggoth, I'll turn around and say, Zarius, Grezza went this way.
I assume that means the dwarf.
Yes. That's right. You haven't met her yet.
Correct. And I guess I'll call back down the hallway. I could barely see Kajika here, and I know that T-hole was coming through that hole.
Yeah, talk about splitting the party. We're in like 3 different directions. 3 or 4 different directions right now.
I'll just kind of call back down the hallway saying, "Dwarf has gone this way." And that's my turn.
Okay. Hell, where?
I'm gonna slip along the bridge. What check do I have to make?
Acrobatics.
Oh God.
I
You
fall
make
off
it.
the bridge.
No, you make
Oh,
it.
okay. Oh,
Yep.
cool. And I offer a hand to the Quagoth to help him up.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Good call.
Okay. So make another acrobatics check.
Uh-oh.
You make it again. So you pull him up.
I just keep flopping along. That's me done.
Okay. This Quagoth staring at Lucirosi is going to attack.
Oof.
Ouch.
So that's 17 slashing damage.
Lucirosi takes it in stride. You see a bit of his celestial blood flowing, but he is unfazed.
And everyone make me a perception check. Zarius and T-Hole, you can hear the sound of some grinding stone. It's pretty loud, given that you can hear. It seems to be a distance away, and you can hear it. But you're guessing, particularly Zarius, that it's coming from somewhere north of you, probably, up this hallway that the two Quagoth are in.
Alrighty.
T-Hole, you're a little less sure which direction it came from. It could have come from behind you or in front of you.
Okay.
Kajika.
Stoned.
I forgot this Quagoth, actually. Let me just see if it made its save. Although it's slightly pointless for him. He did not make his save. So he continues to run and goes out of sight. But you hear a scream, like a yelp almost, like a dog being punched around. And there's the sound of just water splashing about. Now it's your turn.
Okay, so he went out of sight, and then I heard something happen.
Yes, clearly from the direction he ran.
Well, I guess I should investigate. So I'm going to walk down here.
No. Go this way.
Split the body. Woo!
So I don't think from there you can see.
Is each one? I'm not really sure. So each one's like 5.
Yeah.
Is that how we're doing it?
Right. So you don't see him from where you are right there.
So I'd have to move.
You'd have to move forward some more. Okay.
And that
Now
would require me moving the map, which I've failed to do many times.
Right. Technically, the mouse wheel should move it up and down, and if you hit shift in the mouse wheel, you can scroll left and right.
I've been trying to use the trackpad.
I see.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. That was a miracle. That just happened. All right.
So, but when you round that corner, you can see that the Quagoth is in the jaws of a very large alligator.
Oh, okay.
That appears to have come out of there's a pond. I don't know necessarily what you would call it, but there is a body of water at the south part of this room that has grabbed the Quagoth as it apparently strayed too close. You can see there's a puddle of blood just gushing out of the Quagoth, but there are other puddles of blood around the edges of this body of water.
Okay.
DF.
It's like a fudge dice.
It's still your turn.
Okay. Have I used all my movement?
No, you moved 20 feet.
Okay.
So you got 10 more feet of movement and an action and a bonus action. The Quaggoth, by the way, appears to be grappled by the crocodile, but not necessarily dead. The irony was it was running away from something it was afraid of.
Well, I come all this way. I'm going to take out my musket since I haven't used it yet in this combat, and I'm going to shoot the Quaggoth.
Okay.
Let's see how I do here. 14, 18.
Yeah, he's restrained, but you would have hit either way.
Okay.
And with the damage that the alligator did, you can see it just goes limp and ceases to struggle.
Good. I'm satisfied.
And the alligator appears to be ready to drag it back into the water.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I guess I will move back, like to here, right? Probably.
Yeah. You can also, by the way, you could see that there was a glow coming from one corner, the other corner of the room, near the pool, but sort of across from it. And this whole room is much warmer than the hallways you were in above it.
Yeah. Well. I guess I'd better get back. And I just yell, "Stay away from any kind of creeks or waters. There's things in there."
T-hole.
All right, so Teal is going to move about here.
Actually, you can also give me a perception check.
All right.
You've begun to hear the sound of rushing water. But it's definitely coming from behind you. It definitely sounds like it's coming from the room that you just fought the Umber Hulk in.
Oh, okay. Like when you say rushing water, like it's pouring in, or
looking back, you don't see water pouring in, but you're thinking there may be water both behind this door and water that's moving up here behind the stairwell you came up.
All the reason to hurry. So here, do I have line of sight of the Quaggoth?
You have line of sight from there of the unconscious one. The conscious one, you'd have to move up a little bit. If you moved up 5 feet, you would have line of sight.
Which one's the conscious one?
This one.
That one's conscious?
Yeah. This one's laying down, unconscious. I'll just back him up.
Luciosity probably wouldn't take well with me shooting unconscious things.
You never know till you try.
Yeah, the smells in the other room. I should go test that on.
Well, I was like, well, Sirius did it, so then I'm gonna, at the unconscious one, I'm gonna shoot it with a firebolt.
So you shoot it with a firebolt. You don't have to roll to hit. It burns it pretty badly, and it immediately suffers. Basically, well, it's not a critical hit because it's a spell, but it begins to die again.
Lucirosi looks directly back to T-Hole and says, "I warned you."
Although you're not actually sure if he means that because you just shot an unconscious creature or you just shot a firebolt over his shoulder.
Yeah, T-Hole's just like, we'll talk later. We have to kill these Quaggoth first. So that's it's actually that was actually for my last turn because I had my action ready. So since I can't use my other action, I'm gonna ready that one to be when I'm in line of sight of another creature.
Okay. Thonot is actually going to move in this direction, possibly falling over as a result because he sucks at this. Nope, this time he makes it. And then he'll turn around and go back. Is your comprehend? How long does comprehend languages last? Got to be down by now, right?
Well, comprehend languages is concentration, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's still an hour-long duration, I'm pretty sure.
It is not a concentration. It is.
It's an hour.
It's an hour, yeah.
Yeah, it is an hour, so it probably would have worn off by now.
I mean, I'll say you're right at the end of it, but Thonot says to you in Undercommon, the hallways we came in are filling with water.
And I ask, where's the water coming from?
Probably the Lizard Queen Witch.
She commands water?
She has been known to.
Great. I say to the group, there's a lizard queen witch. Apparently, she's filling the hallways with water. And I ask Thonot, is she dangerous?
She is probably the most dangerous of the thralls.
She's more dangerous than the creature we just killed.
Let us get moving. There's activity down this hallway.
And it's Luciorosi's turn.
All right, I'm gonna continue to bash. Now this one I haven't attacked yet, so it possibly has to save against the fairy fire effect.
Right.
I have attacked it, but not with Celestri. I think I attacked it. I don't remember.
Oh, it did not do well.
That's impressive.
Another one with how badly hurt does it look?
Oh, I actually didn't even notice the damage. It does not do well on its save as it falls.
Okay.
So I assume you're not going to kill this one either?
No. And
so
then
it falls unconscious and glowing.
Okay. 5, 10, 15.
As you get up to there and round the corner, you see there is a hideous and fairly poorly constructed statue of stone. It looks like it may have been shaped with magic, and it's been crudely painted to look like a white-skinned mind flayer. It seems to be pointing away from you, facing up the hallway beyond, and you.
Okay.
As you round the corner, you can definitely begin to smell a real stench of rot, greater than any you've smelled before.
Okay. The putrid stench of evil. I got it. So that's sorry, go ahead.
And you can see that in the distance ahead, there you can hear the sounds of water coming from in front of you.
Okay. So that was 20 feet, then 25, 30. And then I can't. There's nothing for me to attack, so that's my turn.
Okay. Zarius.
5, 10, 15, 20. Can't see him on this damn statue.
Are there any more torches?
10. Yeah, down there.
Yeah, it's gotta move this one.
Can drag more torches onto the map. For those of you who have a torch.
I have the dark vision. Superior dark vision.
I'll go ahead and stop moving while I'm right here.
Okay. So, yeah, you see the room is filled with just body parts. There's any number of things scrawled on the wall, probably in Elvish, like all the other ones. But there's a lot more mixed in body parts in this room than you've seen elsewhere. There are maybe dozens of dead bodies in this room. And this is most of these deaths appear to be quite old, which is in part why the rot smell is so bad in here, that they've had time to fester. The water sound is coming from, there appears to be a stone door that may have been a secret door at once, but it's been left open on the far wall.
So I'll just get my last 5 feet for dashing, basically. I just call back and say, there are many dead bodies. Are they dismembered like they appear to be here?
Yes, most of them appear to have been ripped apart. There's a few that are intact as far as you can see, but there are piles of body parts. Do you read Elvish, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I got Draconic and Goblin.
Okay.
Let's see, that's an action to do. So, yeah, I'm just gonna park it right here and just say, yeah, many dismembered bodies appear. If there was a door or something like that up ahead.
There's an opening in the wall where a door has been moved out of the way.
Okay, I can barely see that.
Right.
So there appears to be some sort of opening.
Hell, where?
Just get rid of it. 30. Okay. 35, 40, 45, 50. And you said there was writing?
Yes. Well, you can see there's a lot of writing, but the along the walls, the most prominent writing says in Elvish, first, second, third, elves, screamed, silent, pleaded, bargained, fought, cried, elves, revenge, Zaxab. And it just goes on that way, it's sort of rambling.
And I noticed most of the bodies are elves.
Yes, as far as you can tell, all of the bodies are elves, although some of them are so decayed that it's hard to figure out. You have some expertise, though, so you would guess all elves.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm an expert racist.
None of these body parts are worth keeping. We should leave.
There's a doorway up ahead.
Well, I'm done. Move along. Is combat over, or is this Gruzza still running around?
Gruzza's still running around. Quaggoth, at least, are dead. that's the wrong one.
What's that?
Thought that was a baby for a second.
It's just my cat spazzing out.
Yep.
Kajika's turn.
Okay. Did I hear them yell that this is filling up with water?
Yes, you heard something about that.
Something about water. All right. So that's probably all my movement there. Yeah. 30. No, 40. I got 2 more.
Yeah, at this point we can actually come out of rounds. I'll say if you looking around that room with all the body parts in it, the passageway beyond appears to have filled up with water. It's not continuing to fill up with water, but this entire room is a bit higher than the room where you fought the half elves, and the passageway slopes down pretty sharply. And so quickly you would be in over your heads if you went down into that passage. You can also see it appears to turn after about 10 feet. But you don't see any sign of where Gruzza went. You are convinced that if you close the door on this, it would be very difficult to spot from this side.
Okay, let's bash down this door.
The door's open at this point.
Oh, okay. I'd still bash it.
Where's the door?
The open door is now here. But it was clearly at one point it was a hidden door that was just made to look like part of the cavern itself.
Wait, I didn't see where you indicated.
Here? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's
So
also where the water went. I mean, you would surmise anybody, like certainly T-Hole's investigation is high enough to think that either there's some invisibility or teleport's been used, or Gruzza plunged into the water in this hallway.
Now, where is the water?
The water is here in this hall.
Where?
I can't see you pinging. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not seeing your pings. I don't know if that
could be in a black area, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, it's at the way at the top of the map.
Oh, okay.
Like if
There. So you Zarius would have then been standing in about 4 feet of water beyond the door.
So right here, there's water.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, what do you say we do now?
Well, I mean, my torch is not going to go out if I stick it in the water. I mean, is it dark? Can I see the bottom?
Yeah, you can see the bottom.
All right.
I mean, just barely. Once you get in so that it's over your head, the water's relatively dark. It's harder to see. But it's not like it's, it's the water's relatively clean.
Okay. I'll just poke my toe in.
I mean, you surmise from what you see that there was probably a secret door in the room with the stairs that you came down.
Yeah.
And this leads back into the room with the stairwell.
Okay.
So did she go up the stairs then? Or down the stairs? I don't remember which way we were going.
You came down the stairs.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily know if she went up the stairs or further down the passageway beyond.
So the water is coming in through whatever this door is then?
Yes, that's where the water is coming here.
It
doesn't appear as though it's rising anymore though.
Okay. Is it open now? The door?
Yes.
Okay. So we could see it again. All right. Hey, look, I found the other torch. um. And so how deep is it?
This passageway where you are now is about 10 feet high, and you'd be fully submerged at this point. It angles down from the room you're in, so it descends about 5 feet for every square you go.
Alrighty.
So you are holding your breath at this point.
Yeah, I'll back out of it.
This way doesn't.
So this is where we came in from originally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this door leads to here.
Yes.
Leads to it. Yeah.
And that's all underwater.
It connects it all together.
Right. And from the height of the water, you would guess that the room with the stairwell in it is probably now filled with water.
Yeah. So,
And at this point, you begin to hear, you're not sure from where, but there's now a high-pitched female scream. But it's echoing all around you. And Thonop begins to say something, but the comprehend languages has worn off.
I'm going to recast it.
So Thonot says, this room was the meditation chamber for Kharal'hul. I have thought your dwarf might be here, but it appears as though all the prisoners here have been killed or taken away, as I don't see fresh bodies.
Can I check out this statue? Anything special about it?
Give me an investigation check.
I'm really good at those guys. Let's see.
Other than it being like it's been painted white, at least on the areas of exposed skin. Other than it being something like a mind flayer and not very well done, not very lifelike.
This Quagoff is still alive. And I raise my axe to
Hellweir. And I raise my hand and say, Hellweir, there's enough killing and blood. I'm sure Thonot does not want to witness his kin being murdered.
Yeah, Thonot snarls at that and raises an axe.
Well, they sure didn't treat him very well.
I give Hellweir a quick like up and down. It's like, I didn't realize you were smart enough to tell if one was living or not. Let us move on.
How sturdy is that statue?
I mean, it's stone, so it could take a beating.
Could it be toppled over, pushed over?
It appears as though it's fixed to the floor. It was probably made from just shaping the stone in the floor itself.
Okay.
That seems kind of odd.
It is facing what Thona called the meditation chamber.
I relayed that information to the group, letting them know that this is the meditation chamber.
I mean, it being worked out of the stone here would indicate that it was here when this place was built. Or this is a new addition. Did we get that indication?
You did from your investigation check.
So there is supposed to be like armor and weapons and things right here.
Yes.
I really want to quickly look through it, see if any of it might be worth salvaging.
It all appears to be in working order. Where was it? Give me an investigation check. So you would see there's several things in here everything's in working order. Several things are fairly finely made, probably stolen either from the elves or other people that they took as hostages. You also find a silver scroll tube.
Okay, I'm going to snatch that.
Many spears. It's hard to tell whether or not something's magical without actually detecting magic, but they all appear to be sort of similar design. There's a short bow that's actually very ornate, so it's at least valuable, if not magical. Suit of leather armor appears to be fairly utilitarian, but it's in pretty good shape given that it's just sort of piled here on the floor. There are several suits of leather armor that are more tattered than this one. This one just seems to have held up particularly well, but still all functional. There's probably 100 arrows, but 20 of them are in a fine leather quiver and appear to be of higher quality than the rest.
I'll also snatch the bow.
Okay.
Maybe I can appeal to Helweir's greed to keep him from slaughtering. Luciosi's done with T-hole, though. No more help to T-hole.
Is the water in this room?
No, the water seems to have stopped rising, but it's probably flooded the western half of this complex.
So the Umber Hulk is not underwater?
No, that room is not underwater.
Okay. I'd like to go over and get some Umber Hulk meat.
Okay.
It's finally charred.
Yep. I know it's been cooked, so.
Take his eyes.
Ooh.
So you still hear the sound of a woman screaming. It seems to be coming relative to where most of you are. Thonot would have stayed behind waiting for Helweir to pass his two unconscious comrades before joining you down there. You're guessing it's coming from, there's an ornate doorway down one hallway. You're guessing the screaming is coming from behind the door.
This way?
Yep.
And what's over here?
Over there, you see a series of what appear to be natural stone caverns. They're a lot more humid than the rooms you've been in and a lot warmer. You see that there's some blood around a pool of water, and there's a light that's glowing from around a large stone pillar or wall.
If we're hearing screaming coming from this way, Luciosi's going to be quick to investigate that.
Okay, so you come upon, it's a door that is very finely worked. It appears to have scenes of the elven version of Moraine that the elves who built this temple worship. It is also locked.
Okay. I will use my thieves' tools to try and unlock it then.
Okay.
Which stat do I need for the thieves' tools?
Dexterity.
I don't do very well.
So you're trying it. It eludes you for the moment. I mean, you can continue to try it. It just you took your action.
Okay. So I didn't botch it enough to just ruin the lock.
Right. It would be hard to break the lock with thieves' tools, but you haven't opened it. That's still a no.
You should take your gloves off. It would be easier.
I'm going to take Zaria's suggestion and take the eyes from the Umber Hulk because they could be good eaten.
Not the purpose I would use them for, but...
Celastri definitely bashed in its brain case, so those eyes should be pretty easy to access.
What you do is you create goggles out of them. Perhaps you can recreate the effects of the Umber Hulk.
You can't just eat them and get the same effect?
No.
All right. I'm gonna try the thieves' tools one more time, and then I'm bringing out the crowbar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just fucking break it.
All right.
Still does not do it.
All right.
Although as you make your third attempt and it doesn't work, the sound of the screaming on the other side stops.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then I'm able to focus better and get those eyes out. That's good.
All right. All right. I'm bashing it.
Make me an athletics check. No.
Is it with advantage with the crowbar?
Yes, it is with advantage, but still no. This is a very thick and heavy metal door.
All right. Where's Hellweir?
I'm sitting back watching you, just with a big smile on my face, like, you idiots.
Reluctantly, I'll hand you the crowbar and say, "Think you can do better?"
And I shove that crowbar in. I snatch it and I just attack the door. What do I need? Just an athletics, yeah?
Yep. And you are finally able to not even break the door, but you manage to break the stone on the side of the door so that the door will now open easily despite the latch in place. And as it opens up, you see the scene inside appears to have once upon a time been just a religious chapel of some sort. It's probably as you open it up, though, you see the scenes carved on the walls of it are similar to the ones on the door itself. But you also immediately witness the death of someone you recognize, the elf shepherdess Oliviera, as a purple-skinned set of tentacles have wrapped around her head, and the creature to which the tentacles are attached is eating her brain, dropping her body to the side as it slurps it up. The creature has a distended head. And her face is just frozen in a scream. To the side of clearly the other mind flayer, you see there are two half-elf children, both pretty young, like early teens. And one of them, the two, steps up in front of the mind flayer and says, "Hello, my name is Kharal'hul."
Oh, good. I get to kill half-elf children. This will be fun.
I'll just put a hand on Hellweir's shoulder. Big sure.
Lucirosi will step forward and say, "Asheros, damn you!" and pull out Salastri.
And you see there's a reaction from the mind flayer behind the kids. In what you can feel in your head is a bit of rage at your having pulled this particular weapon. And the two elf children speak in unison, saying, "I know that weapon. That is the weapon of the enemy. It was supposed to be left to rot. What do you want here? Speak, but do not enter my chamber."
Where is the golden boar?
What?
And the two children say, "What?"
You've hidden a boar here.
A boar?
Yes, a golden one.
Has the creature infiltrated your mind? What are you speaking?
I don't know if this is Hellweir or Brendan, but you smell toast.
The two half-elf children say, "We do not know the golden boar you are speaking about."
I'm curious, am I getting any kind of sensation from Salastri?
Salastri definitely recognizes the creature. It's not the one that killed the woman who previously held her.
Mhm.
But she, it clearly hates the creature just as something evil.
Yeah. So Lucia Rossi would defy the creature in its statement of not entering, and would walk forward, like trying to be intimidating and angry, and say, "We have come to exterminate the evil that lies within this crypt."
Yeah, as you get like within the range of the room because of your enhanced dark vision, you can see to one side of the altar at which it's standing, there is the figure of a dwarf slumped over on the ground. It appears as though he's bleeding and possibly dying. Uh, Blood from a wound in his head is spilling into this water. He's over here.
I'm gonna peer into this water. Like, does it look like it's deep?
It
It's
is
like a puddle or something.
It appears as though it kind of undermines the walls a bit, and so it's not very deep where it is. The deepest part is probably maybe 6 feet, but it also sort of disappears into the darkness once you leave the room.
Okay.
So what's everyone else thinking? Because Lucia Rossi is kind of like ready to just charge.
Well, you can hear Kajiko walking behind you, pulling out his scattergun. I think the time for talking is done, fellas.
Agreed.
I couldn't agree more, Kajika. So,
yeah. T-Hole hates mind flayers, so he just looks annoyed. Like really impatient that we're even bothering to talk to this inferior creature. So,
Alrighty.
Teal's just gonna let loose to firebolt.
Yeah, and the creature appears to be doing something. So everybody roll initiative.
I'm so good at those.
Click your tokens before you roll.
Did I click my token first?
All right.
I didn't do it. Okay, perfect. Token clicked.
Hey, look at that! I'm not below 10.
Should have clicked.
Nice.
Hey, I made it above 10 as well.
I didn't say I got above 10. I'm just not below it.
Oh, I forgot him.
Jesus. Oh, it looks like I'm last.
So, I have used literally every single ability in my arsenal minus 1 first level spell slot. So I'm really hoping that doesn't come to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
That is. At least you weren't firing all your +2 arrows.
Yeah, they're all gone now.
So it's T-Hole's turn.
T-Hole is going to cast. He's going to cast a fire. Let's see. Well, hold on a sec. What's the range on this guy here? 15 feet.
Pretty much anything with fire in it is going to be able to hit him.
Well, yeah,
Fireball, firebolt.
I was just wondering if, like, I was just gonna say, like, if I could make it close enough for like burning hands, but I won't be able to. So I'll just do firebolt.
Hit the fucking half elves.
Yeah.
The goddamn children.
I'm gonna aim at the mind flayer.
T-Hole, you would know that mind flayers usually just talk telepathically. It's unusual for him to be talking through anyone else, let alone 2 half elves. Although you can see from you got the description of him from Thonot before, and you can see that he does visibly have half of his head cracked in, and there is a trickle of some green ichor that's coming out of the wound where his skull has been bashed in on the one side. Two of his tentacles on one side of his head have been severed. And presumably he's had months to recover from these wounds, so he is just not getting any better.
That's
What
a
an idiot.
sweet pick.
That's
pretty sweet.
That misses.
And that was I still have that was like for my last one because I had an action ready because I didn't run into anything. Unless that doesn't count since we started new.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Okay. All right. Then that'll be my turn. So he shoots off a fireball and it splashes against the wall. And he's like, "What kind of mind flayer are you? Using children to communicate instead of yourself. Pathetic. My grandma's beating mind flayers better than you."
So Hellweir.
So yeah, I move up 10 feet, and then I'll fire a longbow shot with a +2 arrow at him.
You're a great sword wielding Goliath, and you've shot more arrows than you have taken swings of your big weapon.
Yeah, I've got a lot. I haven't got very many hit points, so and I haven't really told anyone.
Plus, the party healer has been saying he's not helping Hellweir anymore.
Oh no, I'm not helping T-Hole anymore. Hellweir,
Oh, okay.
you have one last straw to break.
So that is a hit. You managed to inflict some damage on him. He is forced to dodge and gets another. He has many arrow holes in his head, but he gets another good sized scratch on the side of his head.
And though even though I really want to shoot the children, I shoot him again.
This time it clangs off his breastplate.
I end.
Yeah. I was almost about to recommend taking a short rest, and then we run into this motherfucker.
Well, there was screaming. I don't think we could have slept through that.
So T-Hole or
There's some unknown alligator just chilling somewhere.
Thonot goes running up when suddenly a large alligator pops up.
Damn it!
It's very weird. It's fucking water.
But it doesn't manage to grab him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Thonot doesn't give a shit about these half-elven kids.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Dead kids.
So this kid is just torn apart after 2 claw strikes. Falls
job.
dead.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the end of his turn. Kajika.
All right.
You see that when the half-elven child dies, Kharal'hul does, you think, maybe get upset in that he sort of, his head leans back and there's a, as his 2 good tentacles flail.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Can I use a scatter gun? Do I Am I proficient enough with it to know that not to hit the Quagoth to get Kharal'hul and the other kid? Kind of aim it like at the bottom corner.
Yeah, you might be able to hit that crocodile.
Yeah. Kurt?
The scattergun has a 30-foot range, so you're not quite close enough.
Hell, you say.
But also, in order to not hit Thonot, you'd either have to be like next to him or like over here and kind of aiming it like this way, because it's a cone and it fans out.
Yeah. Hey, can I switch to does the musket have a longer range?
The musket, either the musket or the pistol would easily have a range.
Okay. Yeah, we'll bust out the old musket. As I'm chewing on something in my mouth, and then I spit it out, and I was like, well, Kharal'hul, met your pet. Little well done. Fire my musket.
That hits.
All right. And I can't use... yeah, because I can't shoot the musket again. Can I drop it and shoot it with the pistol if I use... whoa. Action. I have action surge, right?
Yes. Yes, you could drop it and fire a pistol.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. Boom.
Also hits.
Take that. Okay. Watch for them varmints in the creeks and waters.
Let me see. How far are you guys?
Too far.
Oh, he could do it. So Kharal'hul strides up to here, standing on a body. His little half-elf helper comes up with him. And Kharal'hul just bows his head a bit and unleashes on all of you.
Would he not get an attack of opportunity from Thonot?
Yeah, he will.
Donut. Tear him up.
And he hit him. You know what? Actually, he goes to hit him, but the half-elf child uses his reaction to throw himself in the way.
I fucking hate you guys.
That is literally why I put the two half-elf children here. Was reaction take an attack.
Good.
I mean, Zarius was already at the point where he's like, these two kids are probably going to die. I'll just see what I can do afterwards.
So everybody make me an intelligence save.
T-Hole, unfortunately, and Zarius, and possibly Khajiit and Helweir would also benefit from my aura of divinity, or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, I think we all are. Yeah, we're in it.
All right.
That's
So
how much.
everybody has a +3, and you said intelligence?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
It's like 29.
I was so scared of that shit. I was like, man, I cannot. I hope I don't get hit by this fucking psychic scream.
Yeah, I would be down.
Of course, I would be the only one. You guys would all fucking benefit from my aura. I'd be the one person fucked by it.
Who else are you fucking, Mike?
Guys, Lisa just walked in.
I heard. You take 17 damage and you're stunned.
Of course I
You can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turns to be unstunned.
Oof, that's brutal.
So we take what, 8 damage if we save?
No, I don't believe you take any damage.
Oh, hell, you say.
That's lucky.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. And he, with a bonus action, disappears, and you see he reappears up next to the altar.
Oh.
Lucirosi, you can make another save.
All right.
Are you almost done, or are you still?
We're still in the middle of it. All right. So sorry, guys. So what is this for? Is this because of the end of my turn?
Yeah, it's the end of your turn.
All right.
Good, it only had just begun.
You're still stunned. Zarius.
Yeah.
You get her food?
No.
Oh, that's why she's waiting.
Let's see. I'm not sure if I can do anything about your stunned status, man.
Yeah, I've used both my action points and everything that I could have.
Well, because I was looking at, I have lesser restoration prepped, but it doesn't do stunned. It does paralyzed. So that one's a no-go. I don't think I can help you, unfortunately.
I could use some healing if you're looking to support the party.
Yeah, so can Hellweir, apparently.
Yeah.
So now that I think about it, I do have an action point and I do have 4 hit dice, so I'll probably do that next turn.
Yeah. Plus, Hellweir has ranged options. I can only go right into beat face mode.
Yeah, but Hellweir is more effective in the face. He's just
Is he
not
though?
doing that.
Is he though?
Yeah, what am I gonna do? I'm
There
gonna
was a whole session where it was just him in the room with some other barbarian chick, and he couldn't do. He did nothing.
Yeah. The only thing I can do is cuddle with the mind
in the
flayer.
door, and in one hit, destroyed her.
Yeah. Although she was the toughest opponent in the entire crowd of people. So
Yeah,
he did
that too.
at least keep her occupied, and she was the one I thought was actually going to do massive damage.
Well, she did to me.
Yeah. And he did manage to grapple her and drag her into a bedroom, which isn't always a skill, but worked that one time.
Okay, well.
You could be on the Supreme Court if nothing else.
I'm gonna see what's the distance on this thing. 60.
Holy shit! Art Jones got 54,000 votes. For those of you keeping track at home, that was the actual Nazi that was running in the election today for Illinois.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like,
How's the
literally.
Texas seat going?
I'm gonna move up here and then cast spiritual weapon on right next to him, right next to the Flayer, to try and hit him, and apparently only roll a fucking 12 to hit.
Yep, misses him a bit.
Alrighty, no more second level spell slots. But that's fine. I'm sure we'll be fine.
That was your bonus action.
Yeah. I'm gonna take an action to dodge, just in case this fucking crocodile tries to come up and eat me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the dwarf fails a death save. Teal.
I'm gonna go probably here. Well, probably here. And say, "Don't worry, Lucirosi, I got you." And like he gets like in a fighting stance, and then he's going to. I'm gonna shoot. A level 2 magic missile at Kharal'hul.
Okay. So what's the damage?
$12.
And as it comes in, Kharal'hul raises his hand and a shield raises up and absorbs the magic missile.
Damn.
What a bitch.
You're whittling him down.
Well played.
Hellware.
Well played.
All right, so I'm gonna use my action point to use all my hit dice. Can I use them all?
Yep.
Sweet. All right, so I'll roll it /4d10, and then do I add 4 to each one? Like, so my Constitution score to each of these.
Yes.
Okay. So we got
So
This is
35.
35. Thanks, guys. So at 35. Cool. I feel pretty refreshed, which is good. And then you see the back of my hand glow with a tattoo which looks very much like Lucirosi. And I walk up towards the crocodile, and I try to speak to it. And I say, "Hey, leather skin, would you be willing to help us? We will feed you many quagos."
Does this speak with animals?
Yeah.
So give me a persuasion check.
Why do you have a tattoo that looks like Lucirosi?
Don't ask.
It is the back of his hand, though.
Using action point.
Are you secretly in love with Lucirosi?
Yep. That's my persuasion.
At least.
The crocodile looks at you and says, "Food?"
Oh boy.
But that's going to take your turn casting the spell and talking to him. But then you realize he's asking if you're food.
Yeah. Okay. That took an action, did it?
I think that's what Speak with Animals is.
Okay. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. That's me.
He will run up and attack. And he hit once. The giant crocodile, although you suggested that you're food, who will he go for? I'll give you a chance. Maybe he won't attack you. Just roll a die. No, he's going to attack you. You suggested your food. So he runs up onto the edge, and first tries to smack you with his tail.
Mm.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't.
And then he tries to bite you.
Mm.
Oh, he misses that though, thankfully. So
So
what's
you
the
can make-
first effect?
Yeah, you have to make a DC 16 strength saving throw.
So DC
All that damage.
next saving. Oh, that's good. Oh, I fail still.
So you were knocked prone.
Okay.
But hey, he didn't grapple you,
Yeah, that would have been death roll. Would have been fun.
because then you'd be grappled and restrained. Kajika.
I got a crowd here again.
Well, you've got a crocodile that's bearing down on a prone Hellweir right in front of you.
Yeah, he's fine. He'll be good. Don't worry about it.
I can't guarantee that.
If I move here, shit. If I use the scatter gun, I'm gonna get the crocodile, but I'm gonna get the Quaggoth, right?
Yeah, you also, I don't think you're still not close enough to get the Mind Flayer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
30
'cause
feet.
it's- Yeah, that's. And does it take an action to reload the musket?
It takes one attack, so you don't have extra attack yet. But if you did, you could use one of your 2 attacks around to reload. But so for you, it would take an action.
Do we recognize this dwarf, or is he too far away?
You don't really necessarily know what the dwarf you're looking for looks like.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
Like, you know him by name. He doesn't appear to be dressed like a noble, but he appears to be dressed like a prisoner.
Okay. So if I
And
go,
he is in the last room with the boss monster also. So
right? Yeah. I was thinking.
And we saw Graza with a very ornate axe, and we know that Samus was looking for that axe, or an axe
right.
that was ornate.
Damn. So if I go around this way, does the crocodile get an attack of opportunity?
Yes. Unless you swim through the water, which is basically like difficult terrain. It's two squares, or double movement basically to move through those squares. Unless there's another crocodile in this water, of course. Then
All right, I'll just step up here and use the pistol on the crocodile since I can't get to the Mind Flayer. No, wait a second. Can I get to the Mind Flayer
you
with the
could
pistol?
shoot with the pistol. You could easily shoot the Mind Flayer.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm going to shoot that son of a bitch.
As well, you should.
As well I should.
He is going to cast shield and
Well,
deflect the bullet.
fuck him. Okay.
Wait a minute. He's already used shield against T-hole.
Right.
Legendary action, probably.
Oh, is this the same round?
Yeah.
Okay, then he doesn't cast shield. You do hit him.
Nice.
Okay. And I'm gonna. Can I? Let's see. Burn an action point and attack him again.
Yep.
Okay. One more time, mother.
Did you use both your action points?
No, that's the first one I've used.
So you could use an action point to re-roll that.
Yeah, go big or go home, right?
Sometimes it's go big and then not have action points when you really need them, but
Yeah.
Sometimes just go big.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off the second shot.
Sometimes just go big because we're fighting a fucking mind flare, and everybody's fucking injured and down resources.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. So that next one ain't gonna miss, squid head.
Let me see what he's going to do. Oh, first let me roll. Nope.
Jeez.
Good.
Isn't he dead? Is that the dwarf?
No, that was
Oh, it's snack time.
that was the mind flayer, seeing if his mind blast recharged.
Oh, it's a D6. Okay, all right.
He will. Let me just see what this one thing does real quick. I can't quite hit all of you. Oh, he can if he's. So you see centered right here, there is a burst of some sort of magical energy, and everybody give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
5.
Well, except for Hellweir doesn't have to.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, what is this for?
man.
This is you've been caught in a burst of magical energy.
I'm
But
gonna use an action point to
Kajika,
reroll that.
Zarius, Keyhole, and Lucirosi have to make wisdom saves.
All right.
That's better.
Okay, so although you are stunned, Lucirosi and Kajika, you are also confused.
Mm.
Fun.
So when your turn comes up, we'll have to roll on the confusion table to see what actually happens.
Well, being stunned, wouldn't that have to go first? Because I can't.
Yeah,
act
it
when
wouldn't
stunned.
matter for you until, but maybe you'll make your save. I mean, you'll basically be making 2 saves around to see if you can get out of this other effect. But it's your turn, so you can make 2 saves at the end of your turn.
Okay.
A wisdom and an
so
intelligence save.
First, the Wait a minute. Yeah, intelligence save, because that's the stunned effect.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not stunned.
Okay. And
Now,
then
wisdom save. And you make that too.
yes. Now, I might get a little closer to somebody, and then everybody
Get
will
stunned again.
So Zarius.
Alrighty. Let's see here. I'd like to. I don't want to. I know this thing likes crowds, and I don't want to be in a crowd. So I'd like, without provoking any attacks from this guy, perhaps go like basically sort of move here, and then but don't finish there. So basically jump off to over here.
I mean, you can make an athletics check to make the jump.
I can certainly try. Hey, all right.
So you managed to make that jump.
Let's go to 5, 10, 20. Okay. Jesus.
Bless you.
And you can attack with your spiritual weapon.
Yeah. I was... Yeah, I'll do that right quick. So that's a better swing.
Nice.
Looks like 6 force damage.
Yep.
And then that's a touch. So many things I'd like to do to him, but he's so far away from me. I'm not within 30 feet of him either. What's this one? Mage. See how far I am here. All right, he's within 60 feet of me. See here, what was the last? Yeah, so. Well, do Ray of Enfeeblement, but at 3rd level.
Wait a minute. You're doing that against Kharal'hul?
No, wait, let me. I can't see the spell's effects very well. It's not the Ray I was thinking it was. Let's see here. I guess this is. Oh yeah, I'll hit him with this. This will work. Guiding bolt.
That hits.
Boom. So the next attack against him has advantage, and he takes 15 radiant damage.
Yep. Dwarf makes one of his death saves. T-Hole.
All right, Teal's gonna try to move kind of around the edge here. 5, 10, 15, 20.
You'd have to make a little jump to go from here to here, or jump into the water and out again.
Can't I like kind of skirt the edge here, or would that put me within distance?
Put you within distance for an attack of opportunity, unless you jump it or swim a little bit.
I guess I'll try the jump.
So it's an athletics check. DC.
I'm really
DC
good.
15, and there's no impediment. So you fall into the water.
You know,
you can get out. It's just that essentially it just wastes 10 feet of your movement.
you know. So I'll do that. So that would have been. Would that have been the same outcome? What if I just decided to swim it too?
Yeah, about.
So it'd be 10, 15.
It's about 20 feet with the falling into the water.
Yeah, then 25, 30. So I land about here. So I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at Kharal'hul.
Okay, you have advantage on the attack.
Yeah, now's the time to do a big attack on him. He's glowing.
Now,
Maybe.
All my
Barely beat his AC, in which he can shield again, but
yeah, he's too far for anything besides Firebolt for me. Well, instead, I guess I'll strategically leave that next for somebody else, and I'll actually cast True Strike on myself.
Okay. Hellweir, you're currently prone.
Yeah.
With
My
your friend the alligator bearing down upon you.
yeah. So, my hand glows again, and I say, Greenskin, you have to attack the purple one. And I grunt and I'm like, I will give you a treat. And I pull out my pouch of my elf ears.
The least meaty part of the elf.
It's a good treat.
It's a delicacy.
You might like
Yeah.
Still, I mean,
Yeah.
I was going to say, since he's kind of identified you as food, and you're just trying to talk your way out, all the other food is further away. But since you're going to use your pouch of elf ears, I'll let you do it without disadvantage. So you can make another persuasion roll.
Oh boy. All right. I get up.
The crocodile clearly sees that it looks like there are halfling ears mixed in with them.
Aw.
I wonder how this will taste.
Yeah. Shit, I could just start running. Well, I got no actions, so I'm going to end my turn and just cop a big blow from this crocodile. Oh boy.
You're going to stand up?
Yeah, I'm going to stand up. Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's...
Did you use your action to do anything?
Yeah, to talk, to speak with animals or whatever.
Doesn't that last more than one turn?
It's not a spell. I've been using the thing which you gave me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Yeah, if it's anything like the spell, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
well then,
it still works like the spell, so
okay.
I think it lasts, I don't know how many minutes, but at least a minute.
Yeah. All right.
So you still
well
have
then,
an action then.
Like, take a
Yeah.
dart or something.
I'll attack it.
A fucking.
Try to grapple it.
I could, but it's probably a better grappler for me. It's a crocodile.
Unfortunately, your sword bounces off its hide.
All right, I try again.
That time you're able to injure it.
Cool. And I also use push attack as well to send it 15 feet away.
Nice.
Can you do that on a large-sized creature?
Yes.
Okay.
It says if the target is large or smaller. Strength saving throw.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
That's where it falls apart.
Oh.
And I win. Go away, crocodile.
Nice.
Nice.
15 feet away.
Yeah,
So
eat that
you-
gray golf.
Brutal.
You push it up and out of the water.
That's some Steve Irwin channeling right there, man.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky. Me and T-Hole over here draw his attention. He'll just go after the guy who just hit him real hard.
A little bit of damage. Giant crocodile, what will he do?
Mighty fine question.
Well, that might be.
Giant crocodile dives back into the water. Charges forward.
Come on.
Make
Come
me,
on.
Make me a strength save. All right, you made the strength save. Now make
It doesn't matter. I'm down.
I think he's down.
Yeah, make a death save.
Yeah, make a death
So
save. Yeah,
you are locked in its jaws and unconscious.
yeah, cool.
Well, now's the time to lose him.
So that's his turn. Kajika.
Well, I'm confused, right?
Yeah, roll a d8.
Let's see if I can actually do this.
Let me also pull up the spell.
8.
Let's see. You use your action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within reach.
Let's see. It's either going to be the crocodile or Hellware.
I'll I would say since Hellware is unconscious, you can do it against the crocodile.
Okay.
But it is a melee attack, so
Unarmed strike.
A punch, or hit him with a gun.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got my pistol in my hand and I just whack him, so it'll be unarmed strike.
Pistol.
But it does not seem to hurt him.
Yep. Get up, Hellware. No time to be snoozing on the job.
So that's your turn.
Yep.
Oh wait, does Kajika save now against the confusion?
Yeah, you can make a saving throw against confusion.
Was it
Wisdom.
Whiz?
The whiz.
The whiz. Can't beat the whiz. 15.
15 makes it. You're no longer
Okay.
confused.
Nice.
Let's see.
It makes 2 of us.
He can maybe. No, not quite. Damn it. Okay. Kajika, Zarius, and T-Hole and the crocodile all make dexterity saves.
Oof.
All right. Good old Dex.
That's what I don't want to hear. That's not what I like. Come
And
on.
Hellware, you automatically fail a death save when this happens.
Can I use my action point to make it that 17 instead of the 7?
You could use an action point to re-roll, not just to take the better one.
It's like another roll, though. I'm not even going to bother then, because I got a -1 on this shit, so the chances of me rolling better are really bad.
Okay, so...
Yeah, but you don't know what you're dex saving against either.
Yeah. Some sort of blast. I would assume, if it's dex-based.
So there is an eruption of fire from the midpoint of all of you.
Sure.
And you take either 26 or 13 damage.
Shit.
DC was 15. So T-Hole made it.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm pretty low on HP now.
And it's Luciarosi's turn. Finally alert.
I
So
don't
you
even
see,
know how to handle myself.
Hellware is currently trapped in the jaws of a crocodile who may flee into the water.
Yeah, well,
Everyone else is burned.
this is just desserts for all the elf years. Asheros evens the scales. So 5, 10, 15. Now, is there any way that I can get past there without drawing an attack of opportunity?
You'd have to leap across this corner here.
Mhm.
And so it's a DC 15 athletics check to do the jump, or you can jump in and swim across. And it essentially just costs you 10 feet of extra movement.
Okay.
Yeah, if you fail
I'll
the
try
athletics
the-
check, the worst case scenario is you have to do the 10 feet of extra movement. So you splash into the water and have to haul yourself out.
Okay. So then I was at 15. Wait, 5, 10, 15.
So it basically takes you 20 to get from there to the other side. You have 10 feet of movement left.
Okay. So then that's, and then was that including dash or?
No, that was one
No.
set of movement. So you could still dash.
10. Well, no, because to get here, it was already 15.
Oh, then
And then
okay.
that was an extra 10. So then,
Yeah, that would have included at dash then.
so, well, 15.
I forgot and thought you were basically like starting here. So, or thereabouts.
So I started here. So 5, 10, 15, and then 10 feet to get to here.
Yes.
Okay, so then that's 25.
Yeah.
So 30, and then dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm so close. So close. Let's see. Is there
You should be able
anything
to
that
get
I
right here.
can do?
You should be able to get right next to the altar, by my count.
Yeah, if it weren't for you would be able to get into the position that Thonot's in, but Thonot's there, so you could move one more square.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless those steps are like difficult terrain or something, but
Yeah, no, they're not. Although the altar ahead of you is relatively high up. Like you couldn't strike him if you were standing on the altar because he's down low.
Okay. So by next turn, I might actually be able to do something useful.
Yep.
It only took 6 rounds.
It's the build up.
Well, I was gonna go and heal Hellweir, but can't quite do that anymore. Not with my HP count. So I'm gonna do Cure Wounds on my. Well, let's see here. What's this thing? How's this crocodile looking?
Give me an insight check.
Like a dog with a treat.
I mean, he just got blasted, so I wasn't sure.
If difficulty telling, it's clearly been injured, but how close it is to death, you can't quite tell.
All right. I'm just gonna. Jesus. You know, Hellweir, you gotta fucking tell people if you're injured. You little shit. I got precious bonus actions here. I'm gonna. Yeah. I will do. Fucking spare the dying. I should be able to. He should be 30 feet from me, within 30 feet. So bonus action, spare the dying on Hellweir. So he doesn't have to make saving throws. He'll have to start again soon.
So you're not dying.
I'm fine. I'm just in the
Isn't there one of the levels of hell in Dante's Inferno just being internally shoot up by things?
Man, if I live through this, I'm gonna be fucked.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level on myself. That should be really. That's what you rolled, you piece of shit.
Is that seriously what?
Right. It didn't add in your wisdom bonus, but
Much, yeah.
but you did roll a little poorly.
Let's see here.
So it should be 9 plus your wisdom bonus.
9 plus 4, so a whole whopping 13 for 3rd level. That doesn't sound right at all. Jesus. 5, fucking 2.
I just keep thinking about it. How weird.
Guys, I'm alive. Someone help.
It's like the guy on the death cart. He's like, I got one for
You're
you.
not dead yet.
I'm alive. I'm happy.
They throw another buddy on it.
Happy.
I'm gonna move to here, I guess.
Okay.
I still don't like it.
And the dwarf fails a death save.
Alrighty.
Dead?
He's not dead.
Okay.
He's one
got
death
one
save
more.
away. T-hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at the croc,
Okay.
and I have advantage on it.
Yep, you do.
Has anybody attacked the Mind Flayer since I hit it with the fucking guiding bolt?
Nope.
Didn't
Actually, no, Thonot did, yeah, but I don't think we calculated the advantage.
It's 14 damage on the croc.
Okay. Croc doesn't look to be in great shape. There's a huge scorch mark on the side of its face. Hellware.
And then I'm gonna move. Actually, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. This is a good spot.
Hellware, I'll give you this chance. You can roll a d20, and if you get a nat 20, I will say you wake up with 1 hit point. Because you're not dying, so it doesn't really matter if you fail.
T-hole.
All right, here we go.
Big money.
Ah,
What? What? Did you break my dice?
you have
I knew
one-
it. I knew it. You know how I knew it?
Did you
Because
break my dice?
No, do you remember, Brendan? Like the first session of McCormick's Folly, you're like, I want to heal Seamus. And I'm like, only on a natural 20 will that work. And boom, you hit it.
So you have 1 hit point and you're conscious, but that's your turn, and you're still in this creature's mouth.
Play dead.
Back to the death rolls next turn.
I don't think we did use your guiding bolt, to be honest. I don't think anybody's attacked. Because
Thonot did, but
Well,
it didn't
Thonot-
matter.
Thonot goes before him, though. So he used guiding. Thonot would have attacked before he cast guiding bolt.
Yeah.
But
So
Thonot is going to go now.
T-hole was going to do it, but I didn't. I decided against it because
Right.
I didn't have anything like good.
So is it? It doesn't have to be a successful attack, does it? Because the twin 11s aren't going to cut it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good work,
I
Bolt.
think it only lasts to the beginning of my next turn or the end of my next turn. Let me double check here.
Oh, yeah,
That sounds right.
I think this still would have been within the 1 turn. Because you cast guiding bolt. Oh no, that's right.
No, 'cause
Yeah,
I took
nobody
one
did.
again.
You're right.
So
a little bit more damage.
before the end of your next turn. So
Okay. Giant
did-
crocodile. Let me just check to see what his movement is. Because the good news is, since you're awake and alert, you can fight him a little bit. The bad news is he's going to disappear into the water with you.
Oh, that's good.
He'll be conscious, just conscious enough to drown.
Oh,
Except no, you don't actually get a torch.
oh I don't. That sucks.
My torch.
I inadvertently grabbed the torch. So you're in you're in a room, like another chamber, but it's pitch black. And you don't have dark vision, I don't think.
So he just left me here, did he?
No. You're still in his mouth.
Oh.
But you can't even see him. It's just blackness. And you're still underwater.
Oh, that's good.
You're in the dark abyss with teeth grabbing into your flesh, unable to breathe.
It's
You're lucky this game isn't about body disfigurement. Otherwise, this is just right for one.
Yeah.
And he gets advantage on this.
Oh, no way. Oh.
So you're unconscious.
3 points.
damn.
Don't worry. They both missed. How's that possible? Are you rigging your own dice now?
Conscious again. So
That means you still have your one hit point, and he tries to bite down on you, but you are able to resist the damage completely because of your barbarian fortitude, which you're not even a barbarian. Somehow you managed to keep yourself awake. Your armor deflects the teeth. The crushing doesn't affect you, but you're a little concerned about the lack of oxygen.
Yes.
Wait, Hellweir, have you used your Goliath fortitude thing?
Yeah, I used it last session. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
yeah. But as he disappears down the water, Zarius is to say, "May Osiris guide his way."
Hold that bell. We're done here.
So it's Kajika's turn.
All right, I'm gonna burn a grit point, so I get advantage right on this attack.
You can do that.
Okay. And with the pistola, now I don't have this whole Hellweir wrestling the alligator in front of me, distracting me anymore. Thank God.
I can't even see the fight anymore. I'm gonna have to look at the other thing.
So that is a definite hit.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Does Squidman still? Does he look like he's hurt or no?
Give me an insight check.
Inside check.
He looks like he's pretty hurt. He in theory probably could survive another hit or two, but not much more. And a bad hit probably would do him in.
All right, I'm going to burn my last action point and attack him again. Can I use my grit point and get advantage? Or
yes, you can.
All right, we're going to do that. Come on, big money.
That's a hit again.
All right.
So he's even worse off now, but he hasn't fallen over.
Okay. All right.
So Lusharosi, T-Hole, Zarius, and Thonot all have to make intelligence saves.
Thonot has a +3 bonus. God damn it.
Come on.
Oh man.
15's close.
I'm gonna
Use
my second action point to
Donut with the 2.
Yeah. That's true. Technically, T-Hole, you have that crown, which lets you just automatically succeed also. But you didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't
Okay.
necessarily need it. for this one. Yeah, you can
Yep.
automatically succeed on a wisdom or intelligence save.
He wanted to make it dramatic.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
He's
can
like, I
use
don't
that?
even need the crown.
Can I
Watch
use
this.
that instead?
Yeah, you could use that instead and keep
Okay.
your action point.
I don't even need this crown. Watch.
Uh,
I was fucking sweating bullets. I saw you roll that 6, and I was like, God damn it.
Right. Like, son of a bitch, we're gonna get hit with it.
let me just see. Thonot has been surprisingly not hit that badly, but Thonot is stunned, and clearly, like, there is blood coming out of his ears.
I think Lushroshi, you should just shove him out of the way. 'Cause he's just gonna be sitting there for a minute.
And doesn't like the look of everybody ganging up around him. Because he can't do that. He will, as a bonus action.
So wait a minute, do we take any damage?
No, nobody takes damage except for Thonot.
Oh, okay, so it's only if you don't save. It's not like a save for half.
Save or
Right.
die.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see there is a brief burst of light, and then he reappears over here and falls into the water with a splash.
Mother.
Lucharosi.
Bonus action to compel him into a duel.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
He fails.
Get over here, you son of a bitch!
Face my hammer. Mace. whatever.
And then I'll call out to everybody else, and I'll say, "Hold your weapons." He will break the enchantment, and he will escape. And then I'll use the rest of my movement to come here-ish. And then I will hold my attack action.
Okay.
And that's my very last spell slot.
Zarius, it's your turn.
It's the damper on what I was going to do. I'll try and hit him.
Could save the dwarf.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can do that as a bonus action. Bonus action, I'll cast Spare the Dying on that dude.
And you're able to stabilize him.
So let's see here. Let's check this compelled duel here. What breaks it, huh?
Yeah, if anybody attacks him, it doesn't even have to hit. It just says attack.
Damn.
So what if I do something like my Channel Divinity, which gives him vulnerability to the next attack that hits him? Would that break it?
I would say no.
It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, I would say
Save
no.
anything. So, yeah, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll start chanting at the guy, and something along the lines of
The bell tolls.
may you
Time marches on.
swiftly meet your end.
So yeah, you do that. That's fine.
Then I guess I'll fucking 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. It's kind of like, yeah, I'll stand here, I guess. Or, yeah, fuck, yeah, I'll stand there. I don't like being next to the water, but that'll be me.
Same.
T-Hole, your turn.
All right. Well, there's really nothing that since I can't attack him, I'm also not terribly effective in the water, especially since I don't have dark vision or anything. That would actually help me see. So I'm going to T-Hole is going to he doesn't want to do that. Is what is the bodies to the left?
There are a lot of dead elves in this room. They all appear to be, these corpses all appear to be fresh.
Okay.
Fresh corpses.
Let's see. Could I? So it's like here, ish. So, can I? Could I move to use my move action to come about here, and then use my action to try to move one of these bodies into the water?
Sure, that'd be pretty easy.
Chumming the water to try and attract the alligator.
Yeah.
Get him to switch off.
So,
Nowhere.
Yeah.
The alligator does have chum in its mouth at the moment.
You might just be putting blood in the water, making it more difficult to see the fucking flare.
But yeah, you can easily like move a body and drop it into the water.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Put it like there. So hopefully that helps. I know he can't hear it, but
Hellware.
Summon the mouth of it.
Yeah, you can try to break the grapple or attack or whatever.
Okay. Well, if I do break the grapple and I try and swim away, he'll get an attack of opportunity, won't he?
Yes.
Okay. I go to attack him, I guess. Like, what are my options? Like, I haven't really got many.
you try to break the grapple and swim away.
Kick his
Yes.
ass.
Yeah, but then he gets a free attack.
Yeah, I mean, you also you don't know how to get away. Like, what direction is a good direction? So
Whatever
Up.
it is, yeah.
attacking is a fair.
Yes. It's attack at disadvantage, I'm guessing, because I'm underwater.
And blind.
Yeah. So yeah, the attacks are at disadvantage.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, wow.
Well, it's still a hit.
And is he dead?
He is not dead.
Oh.
Again.
Alright, let's hit him again. Oh my. Oh no, it's only an 11.
Yeah, it's only an 11.
And then I'll punch it. Is it dead?
And as you punch it, you feel the jaws relax
Oh my god.
as it begins to float freely in the water.
I swim like a motherfucker. I don't know what direction. Just somewhere.
Oops, I got kicked out. Roll me a D10 while I load back in.
I got a 4.
So you are swimming in a direction and you wind up hitting a wall. Seems, it's there. You can go up or down along the wall.
Oh, cool. I'll go up.
And you emerge into air. It appears as though this chamber isn't completely filled with water.
And it's complete dark, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah, it's still completely dark.
Okay. Well, I'll try and find an edge. And
Yeah, you find actually right in the direction you've swam, there is a little ledge.
cool.
It's feeling around. You're sure it doesn't go. You don't feel any like exits or anything. It appears as though it's just a ledge in this chamber.
Yeah, I'll figure the rest of it out next turn. I'm just going to stay here. Alright, that's fine.
Okay. Thonot, nobody's explained this don't attack him to Thonot.
Oh
He's still-
God!
He's stunned,
Oh, right, he's stunned. So
He's done.
so it doesn't even matter.
make a
good.
saving throw. I should have marked him as stunned. It's easy to forget these things. Even with a bonus, it would not have helped him.
Yeah, he's too far from the bonus anyways, but
Just put that. That'll be his stunned. Giant crocodile is dead. I assume you
Somehow.
didn't just render it unconscious.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we can bring it back later. It'll be great.
Kajika.
Use my action to reload the musket
Okay.
and ready. I'm basically watching the water in case anything goes sideways. I'm gonna shoot this son of a bitch.
See, now,
there's a second crocodile.
Now Kharal'hul has a decision to make because he'd be at disadvantage if he attacked anyone, but it doesn't mean he has to charge towards your weapons. He's smart enough to know that that's not a good idea. I know what he's going to do. Check that.
I'd like to also point out that when I did the compelled duel, I probably would have channeled through Salasri some kind of taunt about his lost partner and how good it felt for Salasri to sink its steel into the other Mind Flayer's skull.
So,
Guys, also, I've got to leave probably now, actually. Yeah. I've got that exam in like an hour, so I got to bounce.
okay.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see you guys.
See ya.
All right.
Take care.
So he does something in the water and then crawls up there. Anybody who's trained in Arcana can try to figure out what he did.
Same one.
You're not certain. Not with a 14. So he crawls out of the water, but let's see, how much more movies do you have? What the hell? He's going to do a little jump here to try to avoid the attack of opportunity from Kajika.
So he can't do that. He can't move farther
More
from me.
From 30 feet. Than 30 feet.
Oh, I thought it was.
It has to make a wisdom save anytime it attempts to move more than 30 feet from you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he hasn't quite gotten there yet.
So he made it across this, but he has to stop there.
What?
Is he going to save at the end of his turn?
It only says if he tries to move farther than 30 feet.
Okay.
That only just makes it where he's not restricted in movement that turn. But there's no. It doesn't look like there's a saving throw anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So he stops there. Anyway. And it's Luciarosi's turn.
All right. In a single move, is it possible for me to get to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I have to do to accomplish that?
No, it'd be 5.
Okay. Here?
Yeah. Yeah, right there.
Okay. So I'm going to attack with Celestri.
Yep, you hit, and that's enough to bring him down.
It should be. He's vulnerable to it. To all of that damage.
Yeah, so he takes 26.
Yes, he cast blink, and he was hoping to blink out of existence, but it did not happen for him.
Yes.
So yeah, as far as you know, Hellweir's dead, but you did kill this guy. And we can,
I did something useful.
Everyone else in the room, other than your party members and Thonot, is dead except for the dwarf.
Who's stable?
Yes, he's stable. He's not going to die. When you get closer to him, you discover on the side that he's laying on, there is still a dagger is just embedded into his face. His one eye is gone, and part of his skull on that side of his face has been crushed in. Like the entire sinus cavity has been broken through, being stabbed repeatedly with this dagger. The dagger is ornate and unusual, and so you would sort of guess from the general design of it that it's probably magical.
Okay. Yeah. I can.
T-Hole has a penchant to take magic items, so he's going to be generous this time.
Yeah, I was going to remove the dagger and then I guess do a level 1 cure wounds, which will do max healing because of not that one, this one.
So you cast the spell and give me a religion check.
Religion. I'm not very smart.
Yeah, for whatever reason, you're not sure. The healing magic seemed to have no effect. It didn't close up his wounds any more than they, already did, and he hasn't regained consciousness. And it may have something to do with the dagger he was stabbed with.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, well that is certainly interesting. I will
Yeah, it's never a good sign when a dagger is the Grim Reaper for a hilt.
Yeah. That for a moment. Deal with that later. I'll just look to everybody. This is the dwarf we are looking for.
I mean, from what limited description you've gotten, he looks vaguely like him. He's dark-haired, brown-eyed, and sort of a middle-aged dwarf. He's not in good condition. He looks like he's been mistreated, so it's a little hard to figure out much more about him than that. And obviously, if he had equipment, it was all taken from him.
Is he beardless?
He is beardless.
Ah, this must be him. We were warned of his beardlessness while we were in town. I forgot the name of the town.
Alkitor.
No, the town before that.
Watchtower.
While we were in Watchtower.
By another beardless dwarf. So, can you really trust what he says?
No, not really. But I would trust a beardless dwarf to be proud of beardlessness.
So, I don't know what you want to do, but this is a good place to wrap it up.
Sure.
You may want to rest somewhere. before
Yes.
venturing into the swamps.
Yeah,
Or
Ask
or
the Dryads to lead us through.
try to rescue Hellweir or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Once the danger had passed, Lucirosi would have went to go and save him. As upset as he gets, it's one thing to withhold magical healing. It's another thing to just let somebody die.
Oh, you were fine with Hellweir. He hasn't earned your ire yet. It was just T-hole.
Well, Hellweir has done a lot of shit that has definitely pushed Luciroshi close to the limit.
There was a lot of mocking of his god.
The mocking is fine. Everybody's got freedom of choice, but when it comes to, having a bag of elf ears.
So Thonot comes up and just begins to take an axe to chop up Kharal'hul into smaller and smaller bits.
Thonot, what are you doing?
Destroying the body forever. And everybody make a perception check.
Ugh.
Lucirosi, you get a sense that although he's chopping up the body pretty effectively, there's still like a dark power about the corpse or what's left of it. And mutilating the body's not doing anything to it.
Could I perhaps take a moment to consult Solasri? I know that it's more of an empathic connection, but
Right. You could. I mean, Solasri's not necessarily super well versed in religious matters. But I mean, Solasri also takes note of the fact that there's this power emanating from the corpse, and it is almost just like a sense of evil coming out of it.
I mean,
could I do a religion?
That spot isn't that similar to like the spot in the swamp that we found your mace in the first place?
Is it similar to that?
There is some similarity to it, yes.
Could I do a religion check to see if there's if I recognize what this might be like, and if there's any way to sanctify or cleanse the evil?
You can try to. You can do a religion check.
All right.
Your best guess would be that sometimes when certain creatures die and are greatly angered, they linger. And this has that kind of dark presence about it.
Okay. So I would look to Thonot and say, the light of Asheros is akin to fire. And I think that would be the best way to cleanse whatever taint may linger upon this corpse. Nice.
Then he says, although only T-Hole understands him. Oh, that's true. He wouldn't really understand what you're saying, so never mind. He looks at you and blinks, and then nods.
Doesn't he have some understanding of common?
Like, yeah. He's just
words,
not.
Maybe
he picks up enough to realize he needs to burn the body.
Mm-hmm.
And T-Hole, I'll say to him is like, we're going to burn the body. And then he kind of gestures towards Lucirosi, and Lucirosi says, he will do the honors. He's very insistent.
Well, Zarius, didn't you already use your sacred flame?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it if he's on top of the body, but
Yeah, as you're burning it, like the sense of evil about the thing seems to almost like it's fusing to the stone. But the body is easily destroyed. This is already cursed ground according to Hellware, so maybe it's just continuing to be part of the curse. But Thonok goes up to T-Hole and says, "You have done what you said you would. You have rid us of Kharal'hul. But we should not remain here. There are others, the lizard folk and other minions, who may come to find him. You should rest outside."
Will they not be broken? Like, wouldn't their thraldom be broken if he's dead?
Not immediately. They'll snap out of it in time. But they'll also kind of default to the last order they were given for a while. And you don't necessarily know that the lizard folk won't try to take the place over anyway. So,
gotcha. You are wise. You are wise, Thonot. We will do that.
what is through the water?
What was that?
What is through the water?
I have never been through these waters. The crocodile was here when we first arrived. There must be some connection with the outside swamps, but these waters are warm, and so we think for the winter the crocodile lives here. But no one dares swim in these waters because you will be eaten.
Makes sense.
Well then, and then Luceroshi will cast light on Salasri and then jump into the water after Hellware.
So you jump into the water, and you're swimming for a while. It's a pretty large tunnel, and you appear in an open chamber. The crocodile's body is floating on the surface of the water now, and you see Hellware, looking battered and beaten, is sitting on a ledge on the far edge.
All right, so I'll go to him and say, "Come on, Hellware. We've destroyed the creature. Now it is safe. Good job with the crocodile."
I'd assume he would just kind of like go along with you.
Yeah, I think he will go along with you. Since you have found a way out of here and he hasn't.
And then also with bringing the light source, I assume that would probably help him as well.
Yeah, he probably would have stood up when you were swimming in because he would have seen that a light was coming towards him. So he says, "Let us leave this place. We should kill the remaining Quaggoths on our way out."
I like the sound of that.
Luceroshi will just strategically ignore him for now.
And there may be other elf prisoners who have ears for me to take.
Hellware, we've been through this. No more ears.
I was this close to convincing a crocodile by offering him ears. Clearly, I need more so that next time I am successful.
You know, I can't help but think that's exactly what Brendan would say for Hellware.
But let us get out of this room.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
You swim back over.
Is there anything on the altar?
On the altar, there is a book and a heart.
Can I read what's in the book? Can I understand the language?
The book appears to be you have comprehend languages up, or what?
I do. I can read Draconic and Ataran. Or I'm
Right.
proficient in those.
Yeah, it's in neither of those particular languages. Let's see.
I'm stuck in this room.
That's it. Only one of you can leave.
We'll enter, one will leave.
The room has spoken.
So, in reading the book using comprehend languages, it gives you a literal reading of what's in it. And this, you're not sure even what script it's in, but a literal reading is not providing you with any understanding of what it's talking about. There are some references to power and to the Underdark and to some sort of dark entity. So you can make out like individual bits when it's talking about creatures and people, and sometimes things that you suspect are places. But it was written by a mind that's so alien that a literal reading is not making any sense to you.
Makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Is it is it written in Celestial or High Imperial, perhaps?
No.
Well, we should take this and study it later. And I'll like take the book.
Okay, so you take the book with you.
Maybe I'll like wipe it off on a body as I pass to try to get some of the blood off.
You probably get more blood on it trying, but I'm sure you'll try.
Yeah, I'll try to find like a clear spot, maybe on that guy's pants there on the steps coming down.
You can wipe it on the dwarf. He's unconscious. He's not going to stop you.
Yeah, at that point, Luceroshi will warn Gruzza is still around here. We should still continue to be on our guard.
Right.
Well,
And looking around, you're pretty sure these elves, like most of the elves you've met, are the ones in this room. These are all people who were taken from Alcator in the past couple of days.
What a sad fate to be taken from their homes in the middle of the night and then end up here.
Luceroshi will say a prayer for each of them. Not out loud, not any kind of ceremony or anything, but he'll kind of take note of each individual that he sees and make sure that he says a prayer.
Yeah.
Do they have their heads?
They all seem to have their heads. They all seem to have died in different ways. Only Oliviera seems to have had her brain extracted.
Dismemberment?
A few of them have had like arms torn off. Some of them appear as though like their heads basically were exploded from the inside.
Sure.
Psychic spiders.
So we can wrap it up here and we'll pick it up here next time and figure out where you want to rest.
Sounds good.
Last time you saw the room with the stairwell and it was flooded.
Well, maybe that'll go away.
So do we want to alternate games, Mike?
I'm cool with that. The only person that we haven't been able to check in with about that is Ano. And he's so busy, I don't think that it would really matter. It might actually be helpful for him because that's one less week a month that he has any kind of game commitment.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
I'm cool with that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Be easier to remember what happens in this game.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Once a month, even I forget what happened last time.
Yeah.
So we'll do this. We'll resume this again in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then so one thing that we need to be considering as well, because with the holidays and everything coming up too, if there's any weeks that people are not going to be available moving forward, or if people's schedules are changing and we might need to consider switching days.
I'm gonna be gone most of December. I'm gonna be in New Zealand the 9th through the 23rd.
Oh my god, I hate you. Can I stow away? Can you take me in some luggage?
I'll send you some pictures of the Shire.
Fair compromise.
Yeah.
And then I'm teaching a class or a college class in the spring, so I might need to shift things around a bit to make that work. At the spring, as in mid-January.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Christmas Day is on a Tuesday this year.
Yeah, Christmas Day I probably won't be able to do.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That'd be a little more difficult.
The D&D Christmas special.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The week of Thanksgiving I probably shouldn't do, but I probably could do it if that still works for everybody. So actually 2 weeks from today, I would have to move things around, I think. Is that Thanksgiving week or the week after?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, the week of the 19th. Which is also my birthday week.
Yay.
All right, so let's just communicate via email, dates or weeks that people won't be available.
Yep.
And then if schedules are changing, what days you would be available to play, so that we can try and arrange it so that we're maximizing people's availability.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So I'll see you next week, though.
See you guys.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
All right. Good job, Kurt.
Thank you. Talk to you next week.
All right. Well,